start with smaller, these are what we call micro-influencers, where ideally it's like a personal brand or very, very viral content, but still a small page and hasn't really blown up yet, but the content's hitting the Explore page all the time. Personal brand, it's going to get very, very engaged people who are like really active because they trust that person. It's a personal brand, so there's a relationship built. I would definitely test one of those. It does depend on what your product is, but I would try and do a personal brand and then a more viral content page where it's hitting the Explore page. That's going to be so many eyeballs on your content. You can kind of see what does better and then move up again. Do whichever one work better, kind of again like that same style, whether it's personal brand or like a big viral content page. Move up a level. So go to like $100 shout out. It's more expensive. You're going to get on a bigger, better page. It's going to get you more exposure and more people seeing it. That's how I would structure this. And you're not just spending, let's say 50, 50, 50, and 100. That's $250 right there. You're not just spending that. Over this, you made something from it. The Instagram influencers want to even though what you're doing, you're going to make 20%.
Oh, I'm finishing getting stuff set up. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right there. Oh, god damn. Y'all motherfuckers jumped in quick. God damn, y'all motherfuckers ain't got no life. Yo, what up, Big Show? What's up, dog? It is a big show. It's the first show since I launched the fucking website. So, it is a big show. Let me get my headphones set up, and then I'll jump into Discord. Speaking of, I watched, fucking a couple episodes of King of the Hill. Yeah, you're the fucking, the Scottish kid that everyone thinks is Welsh. Of course I remember. Can't forget a nice big old fan like you. Let me... I just gotta finish setting up the headphones. And I'll be right in. 1 hour photo? Never heard of you. Never heard of you. Oh, also I'm downloading Civ 5 right now. Welsh, are they lost? I sell cocaine and cocaine accessories. I'm not addicted to cocaine. I just like the smell. Let's see. It's hands-free. Bam, there we go. Alright, I'm jumping in Discord. Jump in Discord, let's have a convo. Good evening, gentlemen. How is everyone doing tonight?
I'm back in school later.
Oh fuck, how's that bullshit been? What's the big show? Real quick,
no,
what's the big show?
Back yet. In a couple hours I go back. I've been trying to stay up all night. It's right now 4 AM. Well, almost 4 AM. So I'm trying to do it so I can just sleep for the day and not have to do anything for stay back.
Yeah, fuck it, dude. Yeah, Photo, the big show. It's really the only time I've streamed since I launched the website. That's what makes it so fucking big. So, let me put a link in.
Aren't you wanting to set up your Discord a bit better? So like all the roles look separate instead of it's just people online.
I'll take care of it eventually. I have been so busy between work, finishing up the website, and dealing with family stuff. I've like not had any time in like the last 2 weeks to do fuck all. But I'll get around to it.
Hey.
Nice, how you doing?
What's going on, buddy? How's it going?
Well, I gotta go to college tomorrow.
Oh, hell
You're
yeah.
a very big you're very big hillbilly boy, yes?
Yeah, and you're dang Chinese.
I'm not Chinese, you liar.
I don't know what you are.
He's from New Zealand.
No, I'm not.
Or, my bad, Australia.
No, I'm not.
Tasmania?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
No.
You're Hong Kong.
No, I come from Shetland.
Shetland.
No.
What the hell is a shitland?
What state are you from?
Shitland propane. That's from where? Princess
My
Nickelbottom, welcome.
Hello.
It
Hello.
has been a hot minute. What have you been up to, girl?
I just came from the political Discord, and they were talking about the age of consent.
Oh fuck.
And some dude said that he doesn't care if a 25-year-old dates a 14-year-old as long as she consents.
That's fucked, man.
Well,
I'd say 17.
It's like, if they consent, they're allowed to do it, technically. I mean, they're not, but they are.
A child can't consent, though.
Yeah, if a 9-year-old man came up to me asking if I wanted sex, I mean, if he was hot.
Buddy, what are you doing?
Here's the thing. Check this out. When it since you bring up consent, I'm wow. Who is that? Hillbilly, go on, push the talk. Thank you. All right, so Princess brought up the whole consent thing because she came from there, and oh man, that any conversation, they can take any conversation and turn it into the biggest garbage fire on the face of the earth. It's total bullshit. But since you bring up this consent laws and everything, holy fuck sticks, dude. I get what you're saying, TJ. I get it, the whole consent thing. But you're a male. You're a man, not a man, but you're a male, right? So society looks at a boy or a man or a young coming of age male, right? When we look at them in sexual prowess, we're kind of more accepting of it. When we look at a female of it, it's always had like a negative connotation. I remember back in high school, there were 14-year-old girls that were fucking. It's just a matter of fact. Now, me as a...
no, you get like 13-year-old people fucking here. It's quite weird, I'm not gonna lie.
No, well, yeah. But the thing is, even though I know that that's a fact of reality, I accept it for what it is. That doesn't mean that it makes it right. It's one thing if a 15-year-old and a 15-year-old fucking lose their virginity to each other in high school. You know what? That's coming of age. It's another thing if a fucking grown-ass man grooms a child. That is pedophilia is what that is. Or, no, they've actually changed it. Oh, well, pedophiles only for a certain age range. Get the fuck out of here. It's still fucking disgusting. I can't stand these leftist fucking snowflake fucks that want to defend fucking pedophiles. Like, oh, it's a mental disease. Like, yeah, you're right, it's a mental disease. We should take them out in the woods and fucking shoot them. Oh, I can't.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't stand with people that fuck with women, children, or cripples. That's what gets me.
Yeah.
Why cripples?
Like, so, for example, people that are born with certain genetic defects and whatever, they were born that way. They really didn't have a choice. Or, you know, someone that got into an accident and they're in a wheelchair now, or something like that. These are things that are typically beyond someone's control. So to give someone shit for and a hard time for something that they can't change about themselves is relatively fucked.
Yeah.
I get made fun of because I've got a star. That's something I can't. I don't know how. It sounds like something.
Did you say stutter?
Yes, a star.
Well, I can't hear it mainly because your accent. So you sound fine to
Can
me.
you notice that I've got a star? Can you notice that?
No.
No.
Well, I mean, when the people mention it to me, I become more self-conscious of it. And then when it happens, I'm sitting there. I notice it's happening. Then I do it more.
Yeah, that's understandable.
It's annoying, like.
Who cares what people think?
Yeah, fuck 'em.
Correct.
They can suck a dick.
Words to live by.
Mr. Hillbilly, man, how old are you?
19.
I thought you sound about 40.
Well, I'm not 40, trust me.
No, when you live down in the sticks, you kind of pick up a little twang. It kind of makes you sound a little bit older than you really should be. But it's just the atmosphere. It's fucking with your voice and whatnot because it's so goddamn humid down there. It just makes you sound like you're fucking your sister or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Buddy, I live in Indiana.
Indiana, you should be from West Virginia.
Probably. I was the only one in the family born up here, so.
Well, I mean, I'm part Indian, so.
Wait, what kind of Indian?
Which kind? Which one?
Dot or feather?
Like, I don't know. Yeah, east. Why we? Oh God.
Wait, are they darker than black people, or are they like? Do they fall between a Mexican and a black person? Is that where they fall in?
Technically, they're Asians.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Same with
Technically, they work at tech support.
If furries want to be animals, we should have the right to shoot them. Like, we should have the right to hunt.
you're gonna shoot them. You don't have guns over there.
Correct, yes.
Where do you even live, Britain?
Scotland.
Oh, it's the same shit.
Oh, God.
TJ, why don't you tell us how shit the UK is?
Think of think of like a really fucked up Mexican city, and just times that by 10.
So all of Mexico, then. Okay, wow.
Yeah, like it's bad. Here, like you get people like my age carrying around knives. You get people my age smoking weed.
Well, that's the same thing in America.
Yeah, but we use words as well. Americans for some reason think it's quote unquote too explicit.
Oh, check this out. So Foibles just wrote, there's a massive gap in life experience between a 14-year-old and a 25-year-old. The disparity sets up situations that are rife with manipulation, coercion, and miscommunication.
I agree
Holy
completely.
shit, yes. A grown-ass man has no fucking business fucking around with a kid. At all.
Yeah.
I mean, so what was, I want to hear you, Princess Winklebottom, what was, since you were in there, you were obviously having a communication with these people. Did you say anything? Did you bring anything up?
Yeah, there was like 15 people in there, so it was kind of hard to get a word in, but I basically said the same thing, like, older man obviously can manipulate a young teenage girl. Like, that's a given, so that's, you know, the law should be in place to prevent that from happening, even though there are some cases where a 17-year-old is going to date a 21-year-old and things like that, or, you know, I mean, but they were saying it shouldn't be illegal.
Whoa, it should be illegal. What up,
Yeah,
Mace Avery? What's going on, bud? Yeah, the whole thing kind of racks my brain. I made a YouTube video shortly after I got out of the Army, and it was talking about women dating older men. And I had just started college, and I was 24 at the time. So, wait, why are we talking about needing with kids? Is this a Kevin Spacey thing? LOL. That's funny. No, we're talking. Princess Wigglebottom came from the political Discord where they were talking about the age of consent having to be eradicated, which is bullshit.
You got the IP for the political Discord. I want to see it.
Oh yeah, Princess, if you get a chance, if you could drop it, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to go say hi.
Anyway, so the video I made was about, I don't understand, like, I'm 24, and there's a lot of girls that, you know, I was hanging around with, and I was friends with.
You see what happens, Larry, when you fuck a stranger in the act?
Why isn't that? Hold on, I gotta go back to that. Glazed Knuckles, thank you for that. Obviously I done fucked up somewhere. Let me replay that because it did not pop up. Oh, I love my alerts. Thank you for that.
Do you see what happens, Larry,
What
when
the
you fuck
fuck?
a stranger in the act?
Alright, give me a second. Yeah. Alright, there we go. There it is. We're all happy now? Thank you. Thank you, bud. So check this out. So, in the video, I was basically, like, wondering, it's like, well, how, like, I'm single now, I'm out the Army, all this stuff. Recently broke up with my girlfriend, who I was dating with for a year, but, you know, she was moving to North Carolina, I was in Washington, so it was what it was. So I'm single, and I'm like, eventually I'm going to want to get back in the saddle. And it's going to be really difficult because all the girls that were close to my age, they were realistic about their lives. They were kind of focused on their school or their career. They were kind of phasing out of, like, anything serious. And I wasn't really looking for anything serious, but, you know, you want that companionship. But anyway, and I noticed something. A lot of the girls that were in my close circle of friends that I had made at the school, you know, they were younger than me. Not by a substantial amount, but, like, let's say they were, like, between 19 to 21, right? Like, a couple years in the college. And my sister had friends that were between 18 to 20. So these younger girls, young adults, like this is their first real years of adulthood, and they don't have shit figured out. And I remember there was this one girl that my sister was quote unquote friends with. This girl, for whatever reason, well, there's multiple girls, but this case study, if you will, she would only date older men. Like that was her stipulation. And at first I thought, well, maybe it's like that's like their thing. Like there's in older men usually have daddy issues or some shit, but maybe that's just their thing or whatever. But then over time, like when you peer in through that lens and you kind of look at that perspective, these were girls that were new to the world that had nothing to offer. These were girls without jobs. Some of them weren't even going to college, if they were going to college. Like they had nothing going for them. And it kind of made me wonder, what does that girl offer that man? So my perception really shifted from why do girls that are young go for older men? And it made me wonder, why do men go for younger girls? And the only rationalization that I could make as a man is for sexual gratification. And it's just so completely fucked. It really is. Like there's no other way that I could even make sense of it. Like this girl has nothing to offer anyone. She doesn't have a job. She doesn't have ambitions. She doesn't have any career goals or anything. She finds the flavor of the week, instantly acts like she's all in love with him, moves in with him, and then leeches off of him. That one particular case study. And I just never fucking get it. I mean, as a woman, what can you say? Like, is there a reason why young adult women... I don't know. I don't even know.
I know what this... I got a theory.
What?
Money.
I mean, that is true. There is a lot of women that are solely focused on money. And I'm not saying all women. Because for a woman, it's like in our DNA to find security. And if someone makes you feel insecure financially, you like hit the road and get the hell away from there. It's just like guys who, I mean, guys want sex, girls want security. So it's like easy to swap those two.
You're literally describing prostitution.
I mean, I'm not saying it's okay.
Right. No, I know. I'm just saying,
I'm not
like,
talking
that's
about
textbook
money.
definition.
I'm not necessarily talking about money. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not okay with this. I'm just saying, like, we see these patterns constantly because women are more likely to be with someone they're not attracted to if they can, like, support them, like, take care of them. They, like... You know what I mean? Like,
God.
Anna
that
Nicole
answers so
Smith.
many questions of my life now. I mean, you are right, though. You are fucking right, though.
But, like, how many guys do you see with, like, an older, ugly woman? And she's like, come be my sugar baby. Like, that's so unheard of. Guys would rather be like, I'm gonna date this chick that's 10 years younger than me because she's super hot and I'm old and I'm ugly and fat or whatever the hell, but I got money, so, and I got a boat, so let me try and catch this one over here. I mean, I don't know, that's like, it's weird, but I don't know.
No, I feel you. I always try to wrap my brain around the logistics of the whole thing. And when you bring it back down to the whole consent thing, the more you trickle it down, like, what can this girl offer this man? You see these situations where, and I'm not just saying that it's just men to younger women. It's also adult women that go after younger men for whatever fuck all reason. There was this whole YouTube controversy lately. There was this YouTuber that she was like early 20s or whatever. She was like 24, 25. And she was dating like a 14, 15-year-old. And did you hear about that catastrophe?
No, but that's sick.
Yeah, it's sick. So, and the thing that got me about it was she made like some sort of public statement, like apology video or whatever, and it was with the kid's mom. And she like was totally down, like, oh, it's cool, they're whatever. And the whole time, for legal reasons, she was saying, oh, we're not dating, we've never been dating, oh, we really love each other, we're gonna take a break. And it's like, why would you need to take a break? I thought that you weren't dating. You know, it's this whole fucked up thing. But basically, for legal reasons, she was admitting, not admitting that she was dating this kid. But there's Instagram pictures of them like fucking making out and shit. It's fucking cringy and disgusting as fuck. It's just like
I mean, why would you post that? Like, fucking...
Because people are fucking idiots.
What?
Because people are stupid.
Fucking...
You know what fascinates me, because I watch the Real Housewives shows, because, like, yeah, it is cringy. It's super cringy, but I can't look away. Like, I have to see, I don't know, I have to watch the cringe, but most of the housewives on these shows are, like, they look like models. They've had so much surgery. They look like Barbie dolls. And even if they're older, their husbands are, like, 30 years older than them. So, like, when they were, like, hot back in the day, their husbands were still old and ugly. And it's amazing to me, like, most of the girls, I mean, there's a couple of girls that have, like, okay looking husbands, but, like, this one chick, I swear, she looks like a human Barbie doll, and her husband is this, like, fat, balding British guy, and he has, like, a bad personality, and she doesn't care because she's rich.
What's wrong with British?
I mean, that's, like, and everybody knows that, and you're watching it, like, aren't you embarrassed to, like, show your face because everyone sees you as a gold digger? But no, they don't care because they're, like, driving in their fancy cars, living in their mansions, and
here's the
sleeping.
Thing that gets me. So these women that are young, that go out, have the gold digger mentality, and they go after these rich older men. I understand men have certain needs, right? And I understand that women have certain needs. And actually, I would like to argue the fact that women can be far more raunchy when it comes to sexual escapades than men. I will argue that to the end of the fucking day. I'm telling you, women are a lot more raunchy with that shit than men are. So the thing that gets me is, how can you be faithful for decades just for someone's fucking money? Because by the time, because that motherfucker, he's got like the best fucking HMO on the planet. It's called fucking Benjamin's, okay? He's got more than enough money to keep his ass alive until the fucking end of time, okay? These wealthy fucking men, they have all the resources in the world to make sure that they stay nice, prime, and healthy, into their fucking late 90s, early hundreds, okay? How can this woman that's even like 50 years younger than him, how long can she wait until it's like enough is enough? I'm telling you, these girls cannot be staying faithful. These men, they're wealthy, but I'm telling you that they fucking work a lot. When you're at that level, you're spending a lot of time away from home in order to bring home that money. So these women have a lot of off time. So I can almost guarantee you that they're going out and they're getting their business taken care of by a real man that really fits their attractive needs, as it were.
Yeah, I'm sure there are, but I could probably bet money that some of them will still stay faithful because they don't give a shit. They're like, I can take care of myself in that area, and I'm happy to be rich. Like, some women do not care. They don't care if they date a literal troll, like with a hairy mole on his nose, and like they don't care. They just want to be rich. That's all they care about. Because some of these women on these shows it's on national TV, we're all like judging and we're all watching, and their husband, it's amazing to me. One of the girls is married to the Aaron Brockovich lawyer. He's like, I want to say he's like in his mid 80s, and she's like in her 40s. And she does look older, but like she's really, like, she's pretty. She's like a 40-something, late 40s Britney Spears. Like, she's a performer. Like, and she's got like the hair and makeup daily. But he's like seriously like her grandfather. And she doesn't give a shit because she's flying to Tokyo. She's like does whatever the hell she wants.
Fucking good for her, man.
I knew a woman who was the polar opposite of that.
Well, she was old as
That's
fuck,
a good woman.
younger guys.
No. She was young. She was in her 20s. No, she was hot. I mean, she was good looking. And the person she was dating was a damn bump from hell. I mean, his hair was, it was women's hair, real long. He didn't have a job. He was fucking sitting around all day, and they have 2 kids, and she's the one working. And you know what they named one of the kids? Achilles. I feel bad for that fucking kid. He's gonna get his ass kicked in school, I guarantee it.
For the name Achilles.
Yeah, they named it after Achilles. I hate to know what they named the second kid.
Can you like go on Facebook and find out for us?
Well, the kid's only a baby. I don't think he has a Facebook.
Oh my gosh, you're hilarious.
Yeah, Kentucky's full of interesting characters.
Oh, fuck,
What's
dude.
the worst baby names that you guys have heard other than that?
Oh,
Well,
worst baby names. Jesus. Oh, here's one. Fucking North. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, true. Well, they named their third baby Chicago.
Well, you talk about that Kanye West guy.
Yeah. That piece of shit.
Oh, fuck them.
So they
She's
have
not-
3.
Kim Kardashian's not even hot.
Thank you. Someone finally fucking said it. She is gross looking, dude.
Well, I just don't. Well, I like blondies, so I
See,
mean that's just my.
I see the thing about Kim Kardashian. People are like, oh, she's got a big, nice ass. Yeah, but it's full of cellulite and it's disgusting. Like she's the wrong kind of thick. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, does it jiggle though?
She gets the
It jiggles
fat
like
injection.
fucking cottage cheese. Okay.
Well,
They get the fat sucked out of their stomach and they get it injected into their butt. That's why they have tiny waists. Even Kanye got liposuction. Like, I don't know. They're weird. They're a weird family. And they're...
all their lips are fucking... Like, everything about them is fucking fake. Okay? Like,
Mhm.
I love... Like, 'cause I've seen the pictures like, they'll take the pictures at their photo shoots, and the ones that get published are all touched up, right? But if you know anything about Photoshop, you can kind of pick out where there's distortions. And there was one that was for the Paper magazine or whatever, and you know, you could see her and she looks like one way or another, but when you look at the original raw image of the photo, it looks like two completely different people, because her body proportions are completely different. Because, oh, we're gonna touch up the shadows here. Oh, you got some fucking fat rolls. We're gonna take care of that. Like, it's just the touch-ups that they have is so fucking crazy. The other thing too, bringing up the whole Paper magazine bullshit. So I had to watch a couple seasons of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kim and Khloe Hit Miami, like all these fucking Kardashian shows, because fake wife, you know, demanded it. So I did. And I'm watching it with her, and it drives me fucking nuts, because I remember there was an episode where Kim, you know, part of her whole career, if you can even fucking call it that, trying to branch out her brand, which is herself, and she got the opportunity to pose for Playboy. And she didn't want to. She was like, oh, I never want to do anything nude, because of the whole sex tape leak and everything. Let's flash forward to 2018. When has she not? When has she gone a month without showing the world her tits? Okay?
Oh my gosh.
Like
I thought the same exact thing recently. I thought the same exact thing because I saw a clip of her complaining and crying. It's showing, the Playboy shoe is showing everything. Oh my gosh, it shows my nipples. And I'm like, dude, yeah, look at you now. You are showing everything. Like, you don't care.
have any of you ever seen that show, My 600-Pound Life?
My 600-pound what?
Life.
Oh, I've seen a couple episodes.
Yeah, is it normal for a fat guy to laugh at them?
I would say yeah, because that would mean that you're not as big. So.
Yeah, I mean I'm fat. That's why I'm going to college.
If you don't need someone to like roll you backwards to wash in between your fat rolls, then I think you're good.
Yeah, I can. Well, yeah, I think I'm good.
I'm telling you, man. Like.
I mean, I'm a solid 270, so I'm fat. I gotta get down. The recruiter said get to about 220, and I should be good to go.
All right, let
You
me
know
ask-
what really
Oh, go ahead, do it.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say real quick, you know what really bugs me about the Kardashians? Because unfortunately, I've watched it from the beginning and it's so cringy. But, like, I don't know. I'm a sucker for reality TV because I just, like, love to hate it. But anyways, the beginning, like, the first seasons of Keeping Up with the Kardashians they were so cringy. It was embarrassing. Like, they fought with each other. They said the most stupid things. But now you watch it and it's like they're so guarded and they're so careful, and they're like careful how they react to things. And like, even though I know it's like staged, there was moments that weren't staged. I think like when she, a couple seasons back, she was married to Chris Humphries or engaged to him, and she jumped into the water at Bora Bora and she lost one of her diamond earrings, and she was crying and she was like so pissed off and like acting like a little brat. And he was like, "Are you serious?" And she was like, "Yeah." Like it was so stupid. And now I think if that happened today, she would never act like that.
Well, no, because it's her image.
Because she'd be like, "I don't want to look like a spoiled, materialistic bitch," even though she still does. But it's like now they learned from all the criticism, so they're like super careful what they say and what they do.
Well, they have to be.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know, it just gets more fake.
May I ask why you two ever bothered to watch it in the first place?
Because of my fake wife. She wanted me to watch it with her, and to do my due diligence as a good fake husband, I will do that for her. Also, as mentioned before, sometimes when you see a train wreck, you just gotta pull up a lawn chair and get some popcorn going. What about you?
Huh?
Princess, why watch it?
Same reason. I just like think it's, I don't know. I'm curious and it makes me cringe at the same time. Like I can't look away.
I've never seen one episode.
You're not really missing anything. So Princess, since
Yeah.
I want a woman's perspective on this, because here's my standpoint, right? This whole the fat shaming culture or whatever, I want to bring it up because that there's a new TV show on Netflix called Insatiable about a girl that was fat. She had an injury, her jaw was wired shut. Over the course of a summer, she lost like 100 pounds, which, laws of physics, that's some crazy fucking god tier level weight loss. Not only to lose the weight, but to have the body that she has then, to lose the weight that quickly with no stretch marks, no flab and all that stuff. Good on her, okay? She's breaking the boundaries of the space-time continuum right there. Excellent fucking shit. Haven't watched the show, it looks like hot garbage. But the thing is, people are getting pissed off because it's a bad interpretation of weight loss and all this thing, all these different fucking things, right? I want to put that aside. I only mention it because this is what I want to talk about. When it comes, this has always irritated me when it comes to women. For some reason, there's this huge fucking idea that a woman that's larger or a woman that, like let's say a girl is well overweight. Now I don't just mean like, hey, she's got a couple pounds here and there, or let's say, I mean this bitch is huge, okay? For a man to reject that woman because a woman, let's say that she's attracted to me for whatever fuck all reason, but I'm not attracted to her, there's a huge societal stigma against me not being attracted to her. It's like, oh, you're not attracted to her, you can't accept people for how they are, how fucking dare you. But for her to not be attracted to me is perfectly fine, which, if you ask me, is perfectly fucking fine. On the flip side, a girl that's really attractive, and if a guy who's overweight let himself go, if he's attracted to her and she rejects him, that's perfectly fucking fine. Why does it fucking work? Why do we have this societal disconnect where one thing's okay but there's roadblocks and red tape on the other side?
Feminism
is fucking cancer.
It is cancer. It spreads throughout every yeah, it is. I do agree. It's not fair. I'm always saying that, like, why don't women act like men if they're so worried about equality? Why don't they actually live it instead of just talking about it? And I go to extremes, like in like debating people about abortion, and they'll say, well, it's a woman's body and blah blah blah, and I'm like, well, what about the man who, like, most men, I would guess, are okay with the woman choosing, but like, let's just say somebody like really wants that child, like a man really wants that child, he has absolutely no say, no right, and how dare you even, like, oh, you want me to, like, carry this baby full term and then give it over, and you're gonna raise it without, like, and then I would have to pay child support. But you bring that up and it's like crickets. Like, nobody wants to talk about that, but it's true. If you want equality, then treat men equally too.
Well, see, the thing is that they this is the problem that, and I've stressed this on the show many times. The number one most dangerous tool on the face of the planet is also the most useful, and that is language. And when it comes to language, everyone wants to butcher shit. All right, let's take a look at what you just said, right? I lost my train of thought. All right, so when it comes to language, right? So when it comes to language, they say equality, equality, equality. Well, what they're actually trying to say is this idea known as egalitarianism, where basically everyone's essentially the same. But the modern day feminists, when they preach equality, they're not preaching equality down the road or across the line, you know, men, women equal, right? What they want is to be propelled to a higher level. They want to be, they want to exceed the men. And that becomes from the thought, it's like, oh, well, the straight white male has had privilege for generations and decades. So now it's our time to come in and claim what is rightfully ours. It's our reparations. People want shit back in return that they never fucking earned. Now, the thing that I've always, the way I've always looked at it, I've worked many different types of jobs in my life. And I was working as a security guard. And one of the women that was working with me, one night she was bitching and complaining and talking about how, oh, the wage gap, 77 cents in the dollar is bullshit, no. And I'm listening to her talk, and finally I'm like, okay, so how much do you make? And she's like, oh, I make $11.50. And I'm like, okay, I make $11 an hour. You're a woman. You make more than I do. And she's like, well, that's different, though. You know, it's like, what are you talking about? That's fucking different. You make more money because you've worked here longer. All right? You've taken the time. You've showcased that you're a good employee. Therefore, you were given a raise. A month later, not only was I given a raise, but I was also promoted. Why did that happen? Because I wasn't sitting down bitching about a fucking flawed system, when in reality, that flawed system was only in my fucking head because of shit I saw from BuzzFeed. That, it's the whole wage gap thing. I've had arguments with fake wife about it, because she's got this whole thing where, like, oh yeah, the wage gap is a real thing. In her situation, I don't know if I would consider it a wage gap. I would consider it more so discrimination. She when she worked in the film industry, there was a couple times where she would go on set, and because she was a female cameraman, for whatever reason, the director hired another person to help her move all her stuff around. So going from shot to shot to shot, when she would pack up her stuff, she could carry it no problem. But they hired someone else to pick up her stuff and carry it forward from one location to the next. And, you know, they never told her about it. She just had some guy that was following her around, and she's like, okay, fuck it, whatever. So when it came time at the end of the film for them to get paid, all the other cameramen got their standard rate. But because she had this other person that she never asked for, they had to pay that other person. So her pay was essentially cut in half, even though she still did all the work, minus the carrying, which she wanted to do anyway, but she couldn't because someone else was hired to do that for her. I would consider that along the lines of discrimination, especially because they never notified her. By the way, your pay's going to get cut because we have to hire this person. And she could have been like, no. If they would have given her notice, she would have been like, no, I can do this on my own. I've been doing this for years. I don't need another guy to fucking come in and fucking carry shit that I can carry my damn self. You know, so I would consider that more discrimination than necessarily a wage gap. But I can kind of see where there are, in certain industries, there are discrepancies. But the example that I gave, there wasn't any. I mean, you go to any fucking burger joint or whatever, I guarantee all the motherfuckers there are all making the same piss poor minimum wage, okay? So they can't be ones to bitch. The thing with the wage gap, it comes from a very, very false study. A study that calculates the rates and earnings between men and women regardless of the industry that they're in and regardless of the position within that industry. So I'm saying you're comparing men and women at CEO levels in companies. There's a lot more male CEOs than there are female CEOs. And it's not because of discrimination or anything. If you can break it down that, that's more people are hired to do this, more people are hired to do that, more people choose to pursue this, more people choose to pursue that for one reason or another. And then at the very bottom of the tier, you're also comparing in the same bracket people that are like the minimum wage janitor workers and stuff. And the whole thing is fucking skewed, and you have these numbers, and it makes for a great headline for an article. Women are getting paid less than men. Well, guess what? Let me tell you this right now. If women were really getting paid less than men, then why are men still employed? How come if it were okay to pay women less, then how come there aren't fucking women being hired right up the ass all over the fucking place? Bullshit.
That's true. Yeah, I agree with that 100% because I think I heard somewhere that the wage gap the studies don't take into consideration that men usually on average work way more hours, like of overtime and stuff, and they don't include that in their numbers because that would debunk everything. So it's a joke.
When I got into the HVAC industry, they showed us some statistics when we were at school and everything. 5% of the entire industry for the entire continental United States, 5% of the people that were employed were women. And there's a lot of incentives for women to be able to join. Like you can get, women can get like credits, like pay credits or whatever on taking testing for the EPA because they want more women in the industry. Because HVAC technically falls under one of the STEM fields. But doing HVAC it's a job that most women are not going to want to fucking do. I mean, you got to have some burly bitch from the fucking middle of the woods that is willing to get her fucking hands dirty, and not a lot of girls are willing to do that shit.
Yeah.
Foibles, what's up, dog?
Hello.
What do you got for us? Spit out your brain knowledge. Talk to me.
Oh no, I was just trying to jump on an opportunity to say some real misogynistic stuff.
Oh, perfect. You got to kind of even it out.
Well, I mean, all I was gonna say earlier is the reason that like there's a bit of shaming going on as far as like sexual selection on the part of men or women that aren't obese. It boils down to simply the fact that like sexual evaluation for women is quantitative and sexual evaluation for men is qualitative. Meaning, like, to a man, like a woman doesn't have to really do anything, right? Like we think you're attractive already. Whereas on the other end, for men, like men have to go out, hit the grind, do shit, make money, do whatever it takes to, whatever the qualitative measure like is at that time. So for there are some women out there who are either like lack motivation to get in shape or just like curse with a butterface that say, oh well, the quantitative evaluation of woman's sexual appeal is not fair, and I want my value in the social marketplace to be higher. So I'm going to try to rig the game. And that's kind of what makes it bullshit.
It is all bullshit. I need a soundboard. I need a soundboard for when someone says something and we're supposed to reply, but no one says god awful shit. I need a soundboard so I can play crickets.
I mean, it's the exact same mentality behind incels. It's almost the same thing.
Oh, don't get me started with those fucks.
I mean, I could unleash my inner hillbilly if you're bored.
Bring it in. No, we're not bored.
Well, if you want to act offensive, I mean, I know plenty of racists, plenty of misogynists, and all sorts of shit. They say, all that shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they say all that shit. That's exactly what they say.
Well, you're the one that never gets offended, right?
No, not really.
I just don't want to get banned, all right?
No,
I've
you
been
won't.
banned one too many times. I mean, they say the word nigger at least
Well,
5 times.
okay. Well, hold on.
Well, I'm just going. You said I can
No,
say
hold
it.
on. I was gonna let you talk, but my only rule is just don't talk about don't advocate fucking kids, and don't drop n-bombs. Personally, to me, it's just a
that's
fucking
fine.
word, but I try to respect the fact that some people find it, even though it is just a word. At the end of the
Even
day, some
though
people
being
don't.
offended at that word is kind of retarded.
It is, but I still respect the fact, like, hey, some people don't like it, so fuck it. Also, Twitch.
You have to
is
respect the fact that it's just inherently offensive, irrespective of any kind of context.
I'm
Yep,
just
that's
saying,
how it
people
works.
say that word every 5 minutes. That's all I ever hear around here.
From white people or black people?
Both.
Man, I used
Black
to work in a
nigga,
place that,
with the A. You know, with
like,
the A, the ER.
I've heard black people say, "Man," he come up to me and say, "Man, I fucking hate niggas," and I'm like, "Oh shit, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say." And he's like, "You know it?" Like, shit, I still ain't saying nothing.
Let's
Mace,
not get Mace banned from Twitch now.
I am
opened up a
equal
can of fucking worms,
opportunity.
dude. This turned into fucking the political Discord quick as fuck, man.
Mace,
Yeah,
I am
fucking tar
equal
babies.
opportunity. I hate everybody equally.
I
Amen.
had a super interesting conversation the other day in the political Discord with a transgender
Oh god.
that had the name The Reasonable Christian, and I said, because I heard this person talk before, I know that he's a man that has transitioned to a woman, has breast implants, but never got the sex change downstairs, and
Still a dude.
and he sounds like a man, but his name is Kathleen, so it's like really confusing. But talking to him, he started trying to, because he calls himself a Christian, and I was like, wait, where in the Bible does it say that being transgender is like okay with God? And he said, oh, I'll show you the verse. And I was like excited. I was like, ooh, like what's he gonna show me? Because like I was like, what is going on here? Like how is he gonna pull this out of his butt? So he said that in Matthew 10, it says Jesus talks about like eunuchs, if they don't want to get married, then they don't have to. And I looked it up because I was kind of wasn't sure. Like I couldn't remember if it was like a hermaphrodite or somebody that just had their junk cut off. So I Googled it, and it basically just said like someone who's castrated, and usually like in the royal days, or I mean in the back in the day with like royalty, they would have them castrated so that they wouldn't be like a sexual threat, I guess. Like there's no sex drive, so they don't have to worry about them assaulting people or being
Well, yeah,
tempting
horny guys
people.
are the ones that are gonna fuck shit up.
Yeah, so basically they're just castrated, and he was saying that justifies being transgender, and I was like so confused.
All right, so that's a very interesting thing. So I can argue this till the cows come home. See, I consider myself a Christian because the Bible, it has two things in it: wine and shit that's hard to believe. It was David Tell, I believe, that said that. And that kind of always resonated with me. You know, for years I went to youth group. I was very active in my church growing up, and you know, my family, they didn't follow the same religious path, but they were very supportive of what I did. So I've always been really open-minded. But after a while, it got to the point where I saw that it was complete bullshit. No offense to anyone, but for me it was complete bullshit. Is that I could not continue going and doing this whole church thing and reading the whole Bible and taking everything as gospel. I connected very, very deeply with the messages that came from the New Testament. The problem that I had is a lot of the two-faced nature of the people within the church, where on Sunday, or you know, whenever we went to youth group during the week, they were the coolest, nicest, most like right by your side people in the world. But the moment you walked outside those doors, their real face came on, and they didn't give a shit about you. And one of the things that really irked me over after a while is how hypocritical these people would be. So I would have people that, like, prime example. I got married when I was 18, and my wife at the time, she got pregnant when shortly after we got married. And there was a girl, super religious, right? And she like berated my wife at the time on the phone, basically, when it was like she called her friend to say, "Oh, I'm pregnant," because, you know, her friend was also pregnant at the time, but she already had another kid from before. And she was basically berating my wife at the time on the phone, saying, "Oh, it's not in God's plan. You shouldn't be pregnant right now." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" So I got on the phone with her, and I was like, "You really upset my wife. What did you say exactly?" And then she basically like gave it back to me, and I was like, "All right, let me break it down for you. You're saying that we got married. I have a stable job in the U.S. Army. I have a roof over my head. I have a vehicle, and I pay my own bills. And just to say this one more time, we're married, but it's your opinion that it's not our time. It's not God's plan that we should have a kid, you know, but we did all the right things." So let me break it down this way. You got pregnant at 16 in high school out of wedlock to the pastor's fucking son, but that was in God's plan. That was okay. You don't have a car. You don't have a job. Your husband doesn't have a job. You guys live at your pastor's house. And how's that house paid for? Through donations from the fucking church. And she pretty much cussed me out and fucked off the phone. But it was around that era where I kind of like, all right, people that are super hardcore into the Bible, they're really honestly not. What they do is they pick and choose passages and verses that kind of appeal to them. The same thing goes with this dude. He's taken a part of the Bible that, if you look at it from a historical context, it makes sense why it would be said the way it was said. But he's trying to formulate it into his own narrative by adding shit into it, and that's something that's always kind of gotten at me. The Old Testament, I always look at as more of like tales of valor, you know, kind of like Greek mythology and stuff. Like, I can't really validate whether a lot of that old stuff is true or not, but they are good stories nonetheless. The New Testament, though, I love the New Testament. It preaches it essentially all boils down to fucking love each other, don't be assholes. Okay, that's probably why it keeps me so open-minded with everything, is because the New Testament really does promote love and harmony with one another. I'm kind of getting off on a tangent here. What is your takeaway from anything that I've said?
Well, there's one thing in Christianity that I can't understand.
What's up?
If God is the most powerful thing in the fucking universe, how is Satan allowed to live? I don't buy that.
Because without evil, how would we know what was good? And without free will, how would we know, like, if we actually love God or if we're just little robots? And you kind of need, like, temptation to prove that you can overcome it. That's my take on it.
Well, I'd say an argument like that presupposes that morality exists in nature.
So that's an interesting argument. Could that be to say that we are all chemically predisposed to do one thing or another based upon how certain atoms are firing within our bodies?
Well, I personally think that ethics and morality, it boils down to it's twofold, right? So you have individual morality, which is a value judgment a person places on cause and effect relations. And being that it's a value judgment, it's inherently subjective. On the other hand, you have a utilitarian aspect of morality in which, you know, it's the value end, the value side of value judgment, where morality in the social context is an agreement, where we decide, you know, what shit flies and what doesn't, and what happens. But it all boils down to cause and effect valuation.
Okay.
By the way, that girl that told your wife at the time that it was not in God's plan, she sounds mentally ill. Like, and like, how can you know what God's plan is for somebody else?
Well, that's basically what I didn't like about the church was because what I ultimately took away from my years and years of going to church, and the reason why I connected with Christianity over Catholicism or anything like that, was because there was no gatekeeper. It was you yourself with God. That's it. You go to church for the sense of community, but at the end of the day, it's all about the relationship between you and the almighty whatever the fuck, right? That's what resonated with me the most. And the fact that this woman, and it wasn't just her, it was a lot of people that went to my church, usually it was females more than anything else, but they were very open about telling you what was what, you know, and they were people that didn't even have their own shit together. So
yeah, and the other thing I was going to say too is that Jesus had the same problem with the Pharisees, who were like Bible scholars, or Torah scholars I should say, but like they were hypocrites, because he could see that even though they knew the laws and they acted holier than thou, inside they were like rotten because they weren't like sincere. And there's a lot of people like that, and there's a lot of Christians like that, and Catholics, and every religion, but Jesus I think he got really frustrated with them the most.
You know, one of the biggest thing, it's a big part in the Bible, and I'm a big art fan. There's I can't name off all this fancy art off the top of my head, but when I see good art I appreciate, I'll remember it. There's this Renaissance painting of Jesus at the front of this temple, and there's all these shopkeepers and stuff there. You've turned my house of worship into a house of wares, essentially. And he had a whip in one hand, and he was kicking over a table. And there's a passage from the Bible, I can't remember where it's from, but basically where he's going and like you know, you're turning this completely against what it's supposed to be. And I don't know, I've always
into
wanted
a den of thieves, or was it? I forget what it's something like that. Yeah,
something like that. But yeah, I've always wanted that fucking painting, like hung up above the mantelpiece. Fake wife isn't all about it. She's like, out of all the paintings that have been across of all of human history that we've made representing the Bible, that's the one that you choose. And I'm like, well, yeah. And it's like, well, why not the Last Supper? I'm like, oh, the Last Supper, it's beautiful. There's all this kind of crazy like stuff. When you really look into it, there's a lot of history there. But at the end of the day, it's just a bunch of guys at a table, and one of them's a jackass.
Yeah.
So, and fuck Judas, dude. I don't want Judas in my house.
There's a girl at the table too.
Oh shit! What's up, dog? Mary Magdalene. Yes, dude. I'm definitely on that train.
Well, the story you're talking about with Jesus is actually kind of interesting too. The marketplace that you're talking about is an actual market, and he kicks over the table because they're collecting taxes. And he's actually protesting that. No, Jesus. Jesus is at the market, and he's preaching, and he's protesting taxes, and he kicks over the Romans' tax collecting table. And that's what got him crucified.
Oh, Jesus. Literally. Oh, I'll be right back. I'm going to grab a drink.
Yeah, I became a big fan of Jesus when I figured out that he was protesting against taxes.
Do you think he believes in flat Earth too?
Of course.
He created the flat Earth. Well, the whole Trinity thing. Let's forget about that.
What, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, or Holy Spirit, or whatever, whoever calls it. It's the same shit.
Superimpose onto one another.
Think of it like this, man. It's like an egg. You gotta have the shell, the yolk, and the whites. If you don't have one, you don't have an egg.
Yeah, but you can crack an egg, and you can have like the yolk somewhere else, and you can have the shell somewhere else.
Yeah, but
like the yolk is, but the yolk is not, like the yolk is not the shell, and the shell is not the yolk simultaneously.
It's like a hard-boiled egg.
But the hard-boiled egg still consists of 3 discrete layers.
If you decide to separate those layers.
But the idea, like, but they're not. No, they're not together. As in, like, they don't. Like, they're not signifiers of the same thing.
It's just
there's egg, there's yolk, there's white, and there's show. The Trinity is a signification of like the unity of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and also individual representations of like it's like some kind of weird threefold layering of this like omnipotent presence that can't be fathomed by man. Like there's no like if the Trinity is something that's real, it's not something you can put in language because it can't logically exist in a world that we can like in a way that we could explain it with like language.
I beg to differ. I can do that right now. I could do it right now. Check this out. So I can't stand when people when they do that argument like, oh, you can't this isn't against you. This is like when I would go to church and I would want to understand the Trinity and I would want to have it explained to me on a deeper level. And they were like, oh, you just can't explain it. You just can't explain it. It's a level beyond mankind's perception. Well, fuck it then. Let's take mankind's perspective and fucking run with it. So here's how we do it. I want to argue about your name, Twitch name. Why? So let's take me, right? If you were to exactly clone my consciousness and there was essentially two of me, who's the real me? Obviously, you would say it's the original, not the clone. Okay, fine then. We can have that. We can have that conversation and pretty much end it there. There's been studies on human physiology when it comes to the human brain, right? And one of the cures for epileptic seizures and whatnot is to basically slice down the middle of the cerebellum to kind of separate the two hemispheres because a lot of seizures happen because of misfires from one neuron from one hemisphere to another, and it creates seizures. So by separating that, you do have some side effects that ultimately come from that. But there's been a study of like, all right, well, how far does that go? There have been people that have had brain damage and they've literally had half of their fucking brains removed. So they have only half of their fucking brain, but they're still living, functioning human beings, still conscious, still able to communicate just as you or I would. Are there some setbacks? Well, yeah, of course there's going to be some setbacks with some shit like that, but for the most part, upon first glance and first meeting, you wouldn't really fucking know any different. So, because of that, would it argue to say, take a human brain, split it in half, and then have it in two separate bodies? Which one's the original at that point? And then you can even go down, let's talk about fucking silicon technology, right? Look at computers. Let's say we made an advanced artificial intelligence, right? And it was far beyond anything that we've ever built before. It was comparable to human intelligence, right? And we copy-pasted it, right? So the way it works with computers, you can visually see, did we paste it? Yeah, but it's not necessarily a clone because a clone is just a reiteration from an original. Let's just say that we copy-paste it, right? It's two of the exact same fucking thing. Obviously, it's not exactly like human cloning because that comes in with this whole biology thing. When you're dealing with artificial intelligence and computer scripts and programming and whatnot, they're essentially two separate entities, and then you push go from there. So which one is on top? Which one's the original? They're essentially the same entity, but because they have different vantage points from different perspectives, they're going to view things very differently, but their source code is exactly the fucking same. Slayer. I choose Slayer. Anyway, what does anyone have to say about that?
I don't really know what all that explains about the Holy Trinity, but I will say basically what you bring up are actually it's a part of the philosophical problem of the mind-body problem, and it's explained commonly with I guess the dialectic of the ship of Theseus. Have you heard of the ship of Theseus?
Yes, you take apart one, you replace one board, you replace another. Over the time, you've replaced every fabric of that entire ship. Is that the same ship, or is the pieces that are assembled, that are set aside in a warehouse, is that the ship? Is the ship the name, or is the ship the physical parts? I would argue to say that the ship was really the consciousness of whatever it is, and by man.
It's like the Kardashians.
Like what?
It's like the Kardashians getting their fake body parts. Sorry, continue.
I like that. I appreciate it. Thank you. No, I get what you're saying. Like I was saying, for me, I attribute consciousness to whatever the thing is, and for an inanimate object like that, I would associate, since we impose a name on a ship like that, and since we repair it and change it over time, it still holds the same name. It still holds essentially the same history. The physical parts that have degraded over time and needed to be repaired and replaced, those are just like the human body, right? The human body, if we are only the atoms that we came out of the womb with, then within a week, 2-3 weeks later, we're done for. We are no longer the same fucking thing anymore, you know? So, you know, if you applied that to a human being, it just wouldn't be the same. That's why I feel that analogy on a philosophical level, it's always good to be open for debate, because you could argue either way. I mean, you can even argue that my perception of it's trash, but I stick with the consciousness and wherever that leads.
Well, I mean, there's more than way a person can designate identity as well. I mean, like, you can. It's essentially to your discretion as the observer how you're going to define like what being is, or like what it means to exist, or you know or whether existence like requires any bit of like existential discretion. Like, I mean, like or you know there's the opposite end of the spectrum where you know there is no discretion in terms of existence. You know, everything is as a part of, you know, a functioning mechanism, sort of an actor like in a flow of continuity, in which, you know, when observed as a whole, it doesn't really serve well to separate it into discrete parts. So looking at it from that perspective, you know, the answer to the whole ship of Theseus thing might just be that, you know, both and neither of them are the original ship.
Fenmore, what do you got for us, bud? You've been sitting nice and quiet.
Yeah, I was just thinking about how Santa Claus is a magic mushroom.
I mean, I have a theory that Santa Claus is
bullshit.
Well, I think Santa Claus is an aged Jesus who picked up a part-time job while he waits on the rapture to happen.
I made a YouTube video about Santa
Then
Claus.
who's Mrs. Claus?
She's a tranny. She's Santa Claus when the elves aren't around. He likes to play dress up.
Mrs. Claus is the Holy Spirit. That's how we get babies.
Oh, you think I'm kidding, but wait until you watch that video.
Oh shit, hey, give me a second. Keep talking.
What's this?
I just heard my kid cry. He shouldn't even be up.
Put it in the stream on the Discord stream link. It's 20 minutes, so for later. We can talk about it next time.
So Santa Claus is a magic mushroom?
Yeah, pretty cool story.
Yeah, sounds like something I'll have to watch.
Who's the Easter Bunny?
Jesus.
That's actually an extension of the Santa Claus thing. But no, I haven't gotten down to who is Roger Rabbit or the Easter Bunny. But I am big on rabbits, man. I follow them down all the holes.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't hear anyone. I'm not putting my headphones on, but I figured little dude would want to come and say hi real quick. Yeah. Yeah, I heard him crying. He was all upset.
Hello,
Right.
Michael.
Say hi. Eat your peach. Oh, he's like so zoned into it. Let me put this on real quick.
Look at that smile. Wow.
Oh yeah, he's cute, isn't he? Yeah, I heard him crying. He was upset. So his mommy gave him a peach, which he was eating, but then he decided he didn't want to eat it no more. He wanted a brand new peach. Yeah, didn't you? Yeah, he likes playing on the computer.
Don't believe anybody that tells you you're a monkey.
I know, he's a cutie pie. Oh, he figured out how to scroll. Oh, look at him go. I wish you guys can see this right now. He's moving the mouse around. At least he's not clicking any weird buttons on the keyboard. That'd be bad. Oh, excuse you, buddy. Yeah. Say hi. Say hi. Yeah, he's shy. Hopefully you heard him. He did say hi, though. Is this your show now? Is this your show? Say hi. Hi.
Can't wait till you're old enough for us to send you to the smokestacks.
Whoa, whoa, what? He's gonna be a real man. He's gonna work in the mines.
That's my boy.
What were you guys talking about? I am so sorry. I had to leave to make sure he was good.
I wasn't talking about anything. I was just waffling as usual.
Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry. You know, duty calls, so.
Just that I posted a link in your Discord for the Santa Claus thing.
Oh, yeah.
Santa Claus is drugged.
He's drugged?
He is drugs.
Oh. Oh, you want to go bye-bye? Ugh.
Night night.
What do you want, bud? Thank you. He likes to hand me stuff. I don't know why. But he'll like walk around the house, he'll find something, pick it up, walk it all the way over to me just to give it to me, no matter how big it is. Up?
That's how you learn, interact with stuff.
Oh yeah. He likes to play with his mom's makeup, so I'm kind of worried about that. Like, yeah.
It's normal, bro.
Yeah, I know, it's normal. So, anyway, alright.
That's like finger paint to him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, his mom doesn't like it, though. It's really expensive finger paint. What?
He only wrecks the good stuff.
Oh, yeah, he only goes after the good stuff. If it costs more than I think it's worth, which is probably all of it, then yeah, then that's what he goes for. See, like, there he goes again. He just came over and handed me whatever this is.
Some cultures revere babies and children. They actually ask him questions about the spiritual nature of, this place and moral questions and all kinds of questions to sort of set the foundation of their morality and culture.
Yeah, he's like going through my drawers now and just handing me stuff. What's up?
We were talking about God and how children are their closest to God.
Would make sense. Alright, be right back. Carry on, gentlemen and lady.
It's sort of counterintuitive, You're thinking that you got to teach a kid everything, and the kid doesn't have anything to teach you.
Well, I mean, I think that's precisely why kids are closer to God, right? I mean, it's because kids are closer to nature because they haven't had time to be fed all the rhetoric and indoctrination. They're closer to nature. So their morality can't come from the outside until a certain amount of teaching's been done. And that's the whole idea of Nietzsche's Übermensch. Being closer to God means being a master of your morality.
So, Princess, did you miss my flat Earth facts?
Sorry, I was in. I can't be in Twitch and Discord at the same time. Like, I have to pick one because I'm on my phone. Were you saying it on the mic earlier?
No, you just brought up flat Earth earlier, and I just was wondering.
Oh. Isn't this like a banned topic in here?
Well, Mace is in here, so we can indulge ourselves.
Wait, I have a question for anyone who's atheist in here. Is there an atheist in here?
I guess I might be the only one.
Oh, okay. Why do all atheists and agnostics, like most of them, believe in aliens, but they have a hard time believing that there's a creator?
I don't believe in aliens. I believe in the possibility of the existence of aliens, just because, you run the numbers. It's probabilistically very likely that aliens exist, surely by the virtue that we exist.
But can't you say the same thing about God?
Well, here's the thing with aliens. If they're real, I mean, you would be able to see them, you'd be able to hear them and all that junk. You can't see God, you can't hear him, you can't feel him, you can't do it, you can't do any of that. At least with an alien, you can do that.
But where do we have proof that there's an alien? It's just
we don't know there's one.
Okay,
we don't know there's God either.
Here's the idea. Let me clarify this. God is something that's non-falsifiable. And the existence of God needs to come from a place that's numinous, being a place that can't be known, that's entirely a priori. So, like, on the other hand, extraterrestrial life, it exists. Like, the idea of extraterrestrial life can be tested. There will come a time where we're able to test, like, the possible existences of extraterrestrial life, and that's a position that we are not very likely to come to whenever it comes to God. Now, that doesn't actually say anything, doesn't give credence one way or the other as to whether God exists or doesn't exist. It's just a matter that the question is something that it can't be falsified, so it's not something that is really worth investigating, like, scientifically, whereas extraterrestrial life is falsifiable and is worthy of like scientific investigation. And furthermore, it all boils down to the probabilistic aspect of it, where if we exist in conditions that are conducive to the whatever happens, like the spontaneous generation of life on the planet or whatever. If we exist in conditions favorable for that, and given that the universe is, I don't know, supposedly infinitely or near infinitely expansive, then you run the numbers, even if there's 0.000000000 it's running on 1% chance of a planet actually being organic life viable, then run it enough times and you'll see it. And that's kind of the argument.
Yeah, I'd say that basically people that are in that position are also participating in another religion. They just don't realize it, and that's the science religion. And to think that there's a mathematical chance of aliens be on other like bodies out in space, those odds are like zero, because that doesn't exist. As for God's existence or a creator's existence, I think there's lots of it. So I would say just the opposite. There's much more proof of the place that we exist is created than there is proof that there's anything outside of it.
Now, to say, this is where things get hairy, right? Because all she asked was you know, how do I know, or how do I rationalize that God doesn't exist? But that's where it stops. God. What's God? You know, we could get lost in definitions on what God is, right? Like I may have different ideas on, you know, one interpretation of intelligent creation over another. Like it's a broad spectrum of what could like possibly happen, or what's even possible, like given any set of realities. And to be honest, there's not a whole lot that I can write off. On the other hand, there are things that I'm less inclined to want to believe, given like this current state, like the present reality that I'm in and experiencing. And I'm guessing that's where you draw your argument for like there not being enough evidence to substantiate the claim that extraterrestrial life could exist, because we haven't even come close to you know finding any proof that you know that might be the case. But you know it goes both ways. Like if you're not going to leave the present reality, then, you know, I guess it's fair to say on the side of God and on the side of extraterrestrial life. But you know, and I guess it's fair that you know, yeah, running the numbers, it doesn't give you any proof, right? Running like probabilities, it's no proof, but it's something to sit on, like while we're working today.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting.
Hello?
Hello.
Sorry, continue what you were saying.
Oh, Princess was about to say something.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a circular argument because we'll just keep going in circles, but yeah.
Well, I mean,
I see what you're saying.
Something like this,
I want
it
to
can
be a
only
cog
be
in the
circular.
machine.
I mean, it's not like I'm not just because it's circular doesn't mean it's not a discussion that's worth having, because this is this is good stuff to think about. But like the fact that like you know the idea of an intelligent creator, right? Just that concept, like something that exists outside of your reality, like that crafted it. It's non-falsifiable, right? Like we can't reach out and touch it. And on the other hand, with extraterrestrials, it's something that we're so far and away from being able to have any sort of like contact with. It's just, it may as well be non-falsifiable at this point as well.
The reason why is because we keep trying to look at it through the lens of human eyes. You know, that's why I love looking at it from like a crazy sci-fi almost perspective. When you look at like advanced versions of technology that are far beyond human comprehension, but you can break it down to a certain level. Like Elon Musk, for example, the motherfucker thinks that we live in a goddamn simulation, right? Which I think is fucking crazy and inane, but this whole matrix theory thing, scientifically, when you break it down, not saying that our reality is like the Matrix, but is it possible with the right level of technology to create a realistic simulation like that? Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, and that's where, you know, I had to bring up the point that it's easy to get caught up in definitions whenever it comes to playing with and arguing, you know, over the concept of God, because God can represent many different things to many different people.
All right, let me here's one real quick. Let me ask you this: do you know anything about string theory and multiple universes and whatnot?
I'm acquainted with string theory. I don't.
Okay, I remember. I think it was either Neil deGrasse Tyson or Mitch Yukaku that was talking about this, but they were saying that They were trying to break down what string theory was and dealing with like multiple levels.
It's Michio Kaku. Michio Kaku is the one who's pushing string theory, or super string in his case.
Yeah, so he was talking about string theory and how it works with multiple different realities, different versions of our universe, and the flow of time, and how the flow of time can deviate and whatnot based upon, there's an unlimited number of universes just based on the conversation that we're having right now with different factors, It could be something as minute as a flower having a different color or some crazy shit like that, right? Infinite number of universes based upon that. Now, so given that argument that he proposes and says, is it impossible to say that, okay, so let's say all this, God stuff, like let's say that there's a universe where it's true. Is that feasible? And then he would obviously, due to his logic and in the argument that he proposed, he would say, well, yeah, according to the laws of string theory and everything that imposes upon it, yeah, there would be a universe that its fundamental laws of physics are built upon the fact that, yeah, God would exist and it would act in these ways. Okay, then if that is possible, is it impossible that that would be our universe? But unfortunately, we just can't see it at that level. Technically, yes, it could be, but we then immediately forget about that and then go back to, well, what can we see with the human eye? What can we perceive from the perception that we have on a daily?
No, I mean, I don't disagree with you, and that's why I actually went out of my way to specify that what we're dealing with is a permutation of a superset of systems and parameters, like components of those systems, right? It's all permutations.
No, I feel you. No, I just I'm pretty sure you listen to the stream long enough. When it comes to religion, I have a very messy take on it, but I could argue for or against, but when it comes down to it, I don't even fucking know. I just do whatever. I just believe in whatever makes me fucking sleep at night.
Well, to wrap up a comment on the earlier conversation, wouldn't God technically be an alien or an extraterrestrial?
I mean, God could be, or think of it this way, like, say, take the simulation thing, right? Like, say you were able to simulate a universe inside of a computer. Would that simulation's designer be an alien within that universe? I'd say no. That creator doesn't exist anywhere in that universe.
Well, I can tell you that we're definitely not in a simulation.
Okay. It's another one of those non-falsifiable things. Like, you can assert that.
Sure you can. You can falsify it.
Okay.
Something exists, falsifies it.
The fact that your reality is simulated doesn't make it any less real, because reality exists in your experience of it.
You can say that, but that doesn't make it the case. I mean, there's clearly ways to understand whether or not this is simulated or not.
Well, I mean, you can say the contrary and that it doesn't make it the case. I mean, we can both bring up, bullshit points one side or the other, but, I mean, really, we're just kind of, it's just, we're wagging dicks at the end of the day, right?
You honestly believe you live in a simulation? That there's a copy of what we're living in somewhere else and that it's being simulated?
I don't have to believe it to be open to the fact that it might just be a component of my reality. Maybe. I just don't know. I don't understand enough about, how the universe works and my place in it to be able to assert one thing or another. I just know that there's a non-zero chance.
You're saying you don't know if you're alive.
I'm saying that these are very fundamental questions, right?
Are you alive? Can you prove you're alive?
To answer simply, yes, I think I'm alive.
All right, but a simulation is impossible.
Why?
You set up a straw man.
Based upon that statement, how would that mean that the simulation's a lie? Wouldn't the best simulation make it so it's so realistic that you feel that you're alive?
that's why I don't like answering like obvious setup questions like that, because you have to know that how we define life is really complicated, right? And we could be going off of like what I constitute to be life, or what you constitute to be life. But you asked me the question, do you think you're alive? And you could have any set of definitions in your mind, and then when I say yes, you can fire off with whatever you were thinking. It's a blatant straw man.
Is it though? I mean, what are the implications of a simulation? What are your variables that say, okay, this makes it simulated, this doesn't? One of them has to be whether or not you're alive.
No, that's not it at
you're
all.
a copy, because a simulation implies you're a copy, or something is creating this reality, and it's not real. So yes, that's definitely one.
A simulation. I mean, there's nothing, one, that says that you can't be a copy, and two, a simulation could just be a reality, right, that exists within a larger, greater reality, right? Like if we create artificial intelligence, then that's a simulated reality, because if we create an artificial intelligence, or say we can seed a universe in a computer program, then we've created simulations. And say we can create simulations that are that are one-to-one relatable to our reality, right? So then what's to say that another higher reality couldn't have seeded a one-to-one representation of their higher reality, and so on and so forth, and let it keep going down. And who's to say that the parameters of these realities, to what extent are they manipulated or controlled? Like, you can't know. I mean, you can fairly reasonably and soundly assert that, yeah, the things that you're experiencing are real, but whether or not like you are the prime existence, I don't know. It's just, it all feels real because it's designed to, maybe. Who knows?
This shit's getting deep, dog.
There's a lot of things that I get where you're going. At the same time, you got to sort of establish a baseline, right? Like, what does simulation mean? What does that mean? If you're going to say it could be, maybe in some ways, well, what does that mean then? Like, what does simulation even mean? Define it.
Well, I don't know about simulation, right? But like, say, something similar would be like a simulacra, right? Like a symbol without like a referent.
Thank you, Princess. Here's the thing that gets me, though, when it comes to, like, because personally, I don't think that we live in a simulation. I don't. But once again, I like to think of like crazy out there sci-fi level shit that just doesn't make sense in 2018 because it's so far advanced, kind of shit. So if a simulation were so fucking ungodly powerful and the technology behind it was so unfathomable but beyond our imaginations of what is even possible, then the computing power of that could render a false reality that is so real that any calculations that we do from the inside as inside observers, we could not be able to tell the fucking difference, basically. So that's where my standpoint is. I still don't believe that we're living in a simulation.
That idea isn't far-fetched at all. I just wouldn't call that simulation. That's more like a matrix.
That's simulation.
This is what I'm talking about. This all comes back down. It all comes back down to language. Because me, I would consider the Matrix a high-level simulation of reality. But to you, the language, the word simulation isn't fitting enough for something that is that high advanced. We simulate false realities with video games. We simulate real world events and replay them time and time again when it comes to like airplane crashes and shit, to simulate could something of different happen and stuff. So I can see where something that is mundane as a simulation on the day-to-day compared to the Matrix, that's a whole nother fucking avenue. You know what I mean? So I can see where the language fucker up is right there. So I think we're kind of on track with the same thing, but we're using different words.
Yeah, and ultimately supernatural aspects to the reality that is, we're participating in. Like you were saying, things that are beyond our comprehension, whether technologically or in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, just a lot of just healthy mental masturbation, right? Just,
Jesus Christ.
I mean, don't let this kind of talk take your feet off the ground or whatever, right? Like the fact that there might be, an unlimited number of realities like above and beyond yours, it doesn't detract from the fact that you still got to wake up and go to work tomorrow.
True that. True. Very, very.
I hear it a lot. I hang out in flat Earth communities, and they are presenting alternatives, the simulation theory, so they can sort of bypass what the reality is about the Earth. It's like when you hear flat Earth now, well, it's just a simulation. So what's the difference? If it's flat or round, it's simulated, right? It's inconsequential now.
Well, I mean, I can see, where an argument would come from, where, if our reality is simulated, then that could very well mean that the laws that govern our reality are completely, contrived and arbitrary and could exist just because. And therefore, flat Earth, right? Like, flat Earth doesn't have to make sense. Round Earth doesn't have to make sense. Gravity doesn't have to make sense. I mean, it's a happy coincidence that it all makes sense. Yeah, I mean, if you're a savvy programmer, you can dictate what goes and what doesn't, and what makes sense with context to other things. In short, things could be just because somebody wanted it to.
So again, people are open to the idea of us being a simulation. They're open to the idea of aliens, but God, that's so far-fetched.
No, I'm open to the existence of God. I'm just saying that you have to.
Sorry, I'm not I wasn't trying to put you in that category.
No, I think it's just a matter of bounding your definitions.
Well, this is what we're taught in school. You come from nothing. I mean, right? Isn't it that? Come from nothing, you evolved from a single cell that miraculously decided it was going to become a human over whatever processes you want to claim, but ultimately you're a grain of sand in an infinite vast space that has no real value. That came from nothing.
Yeah, and I guess to call myself an atheist is kind of a misnomer. I tell people I'm an atheist who ask, because it's simpler than explaining to them, that I'm an agnostic pantheist.
So here's the thing. When you said the thing about it's easy to believe in simulation / matrix theory, it's easy to believe in multiple realities, it's easy to believe in aliens, but it's hard to believe in God. And I think the reason why a lot of people kind of have that, people do fall into that camp, people do fall into that category, is because those are all things that are based within some understanding that we can have. God has always been put up on this pedestal to be something that we cannot understand. Essentially, a lot of the things, especially by people that go to church and stuff, they're constantly harped down that you can never understand God. And Me, on the other hand, though, I've always looked at it very differently, because I've always equated God to his creation, you know, us, the universe around us, everything that encompasses all of reality is an aspect of God. So to say that I can't understand the universe that I live in, the creation of the Almighty, that I cannot understand that is something I have always refused to. I've always strived to question my reality, to go out, look, find answers, try to make sense of this crazy reality that we live in. So I think that's kind of why it's been that way, is because God is all the concept of God, the concept of this higher power has always been thrusted upon this pedestal. And I'm not saying that we should break that pedestal and knock it down and turn it into oblivion. I'm just saying that we should just question what we've been taught all these years. Question, like, well, why can't God be understood? Like, why tell me that he cannot be understood? Why remind me on the daily that he's beyond my human comprehension? I think that humanity, I'm not a fucking genius. I'm not the smartest guy in the fucking universe. Barely the smartest guy in this closet. Okay? But at the end of the fucking day, I can still probe the reality and find meaning in it. And to say that I can't do that because it's far beyond my comprehension, well, I tend to disagree with that notion.
I can agree and disagree, kind of, because I believe that, like, when God said, "Let us make man in our image," I think we can relate to God in some ways. Like, we were made in his image, so it's not like he's an alien and we can't, like, fathom anything. And then also, if you take into account that Jesus is the Son of God and, you know, part of the Trinity, so he is God in the flesh, I guess. I mean, it's depending on what you believe as a Christian, or then Jesus is pretty much like God, and we can relate to him. He was he came down here. He was man. Sorry, I sound retarded, but I think that's why God did that, so he could say, so we could relate, you know. And it's I wish I was drunk, because then I would have an excuse to not
I get what you're saying.
Make any sense.
It's impossible to come on this Discord and not sound like half retarded at some point.
Yeah, just join the club. So we all kind of fumble our words from time to time. So
but I think you can have.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I'm just gonna say, like, you know, you could have it both ways. Like, you know, you can have things that are beyond your comprehension, and I think it's fine to understand, or it's fine to like accept that there may very well be hard limitations on a human being's capability to understand. While on the other end, don't let that bar you from trying to understand everything you can.
You know, I think it's the whole Jesus aspect, perspective. I think it's a much better story when you look at the lens of God creating Jesus and having a physical presence on earth, kind of segmenting his consciousness into a human form, a mortal form, to kind of experience what we experience, instead of just being on his throne through his own lens, trying to get it down through the eyes of his creation. It's such a better story if he did it for selfish reasons. If he did it so that he could better understand, right? Not for us. Not that he did it for us, but that he could understand. I want to understand my creation better. Let me do this. Let me go all incognito up in this shit, right? And then had this crazy revelation. He felt mortality. He had these communications with himself, but it was because it's his consciousness in a new body that is experiencing life for the first time and growing. It's still him, but it's not, because it's kind of like the thing I said before. If you take an AI and you copy over its source code, and it's the same AI, but it has a different vantage point, it's going to have a different outlook. It's going to have different experiences. And because of that, he grew and he learned. And he's like, holy shit, wow, like this is what being mortal is? This is some fucked up shit. Look at what I created. All right, let me wash away the sins of mankind. Let's try and start anew, but without a flood, but with love. Through fucking death. Like, that's how that ultimate sacrifice, that whole tale in the Bible, that resonates so much more with me when it's kind of like this self-evolutionary aspect where he did it for himself to kind of gain better knowledge, like, which is knowledge that he would already have, but because you gave human beings free will, it's not like you can really peer and see that perspective. So once he's down on that perspective and truly understands what it means to be human, then he kind of evolves into himself, a new level of understanding of his own creation, and then that's what propelled Jesus to be the great man that he was, because he was already this omnipotent being. But I know, yes, I sound fucking insane. Do I sound insane?
No, it was a good story, and I think you
sound passionate.
The idea of God being a singular entity actually is a majority of the people on earth believe that. A majority of the religions, Islam, Jewish, Catholic, Christians, all are actually, they have the same understanding of God. In their belief system, God is the same. But that doesn't discount the ideas that are out there beyond a singular entity, God. And but yeah, I mean, I think they're, the authority. There's a lot of people claiming authority of God, like they have understanding of God. We call these religions and churches or systems of that nature, but most people actually understand God through their own experience and their own interactions and their own emotions and things of that nature.
Yeah, righteous authority is the best authority, divine authority, anyways, because you can't say shit to it.
I think, like, in my opinion, I think that it was always the plan for God to, like, provide a savior for the entire world, but he knows that humans are, like, stubborn and they had to do it their way first. So, like, he kind of showed them, like, you can try and follow all these laws, but you're going to fail. And then let them do it their way and then save them, like, later. Like, here you go. Here's your savior. You had to learn the hard way. Because, I don't know. I think if we had this... I mean, we would appreciate Jesus so much more having gone through, I mean, not everyone personally, because this happened so long ago, but, like, thinking about it, thinking about all the people went through in the Old Testament with having to, like, kill animals for sin. Like, it was crazy. Like, women who were menstruating, like, didn't they have to, like, kill a dove every time? I don't remember, but it was, like, crazy. It was, like, undoable. Like, it was impossible. So, I don't know.
When it comes to the Old Testament, I shit can it, like, the whole fucking thing, because that is a fucked up era. That's just, I don't even know where to begin with how
it doesn't feel good.
Well, all right. So the thing with the Old Testament, I have a lot of problems with the Old Testament, a lot of them. Number one is that everyone wants to quote fucking the bullshit, batshit, fucking crazy laws that came from Leviticus. Okay, yeah, all right. So pick and choose what you want from the Bible, but that's usually the number one place they go to when they want to preach their fucking hate instead of their love. But aside from that fact, that is like a whole era of just not, I wouldn't say insanity. It's a lot of wrath, and the only way I can make sense of the Old Testament and let it be a decent fucking thing. All right, so God's omnipotent, right? And let's say he's multi-universal omnipotent. Like, let's say he's 10th dimensional omnipotent. He knows every fucking reality, every decision that's going to be made, all of it. He fucking knows everything, past, present, future, all of it. He knows the beginning of the universe, he knows the end of the universe. Why? Because that's all fucking his doing, right? You with me? So what happens is, the reason why there's a cog in the machine that's all fucked up, and that's this thing called free will. Right? So even though he knows all these different outcomes and he knows where things are going to go and he's omnipotent, and just looking at it from that lens, he's this wrathful vengeful God, and it's like, holy shit, man, this is some crazy fucking shit. The only thing about that makes the story somewhat better is free will. He knows all the outcomes and stuff, but all that matters is the outcome of the present and where it moves. So he knows all the different directions that shit can go because of how time flows, right? Especially when you talk like not just the river of point A to point B, right? We're talking fifth dimension, right? We're talking multiple decisions that are made and it branches off into different directions. He's so focused on the present and the present of what decision is going to be made next, right? And to him, that is what mattered. Is I know all these different directions that it's going to go, but I need to see on this path, in this reality, where is it going to lead? That's the only thing that kind of saves the Old Testament. But for the most part, I just take the nice, fun, awesome, warrior-like stories from it, and the rest is just fire and brimstone.
Yeah, well, some of those laws were Moses laws, and like the book about Solomon having how many wives? 700 wives. I don't think God was like, hey, everyone, if you want 700 wives, go for it. Like, there's people in there just to show us what not to do. And so, but at the same time, I don't know. It's crazy. Please, someone else cut me off.
I was thinking about Mace earlier, saying that every time we went to church, people were saying, you don't know the nature of God. Well, that's the idea behind the church, is that if you know the nature of God yourself, you don't need the church. That's your lifeline. That's why you go, is to learn about God. So if you know the nature of God and understand God, then you don't need to go to the church. I do think that just, putting out there that I don't ascribe a sex or a being to God. I know that there's language in the Bible that in our image, and but I look at every living thing as a creature of God. But yeah, the idea of what is God, I think that even differs between people within the same religions. So and I know that the more you look into the Bible and the other religions, the more there is to learn. Like, you have to know some shit, you have some experience to even understand what they're even talking about. You have to know some stuff about language, you have to know some stuff about how they manipulated it, you have to understand where it came from, you have to know there's more books than just what's in the Bible that were kept out of the Bible that were also holy scriptures of the time. So there's definitely a wealth of information as far as the history of humans. That's basically what we're looking at, and the realities of their experiences and how they shared them because they felt they were important for us to know. Like, for instance, we all know about the flood, but do we all know that there's regions in you can live that flood all the time, and it's a real hazard, and you got to be really aware of something like that happening. Flash floods are real. Yeah, there's a lot of different examples of stories that there's lots to learn from.
It's very, very true.
Yeah, but we have one thing God doesn't have. Well, didn't have, until He created Himself in the form of Jesus, and that's the ability to have novel experience. Because if you're omnipotent and omniscient, it's got to be pretty boring, right? Nothing new under the sun for God.
Playing with Himself.
That's all you can do.
Whoa, what the fuck? Sorry, I'm listening. I got some alerts on the website, so I'm just checking those real quick.
Yeah, how'd that go, man? Launch successful? You feeling pretty good about what you got going?
I launched the website and I woke up and I had a few orders already, and I didn't do any marketing or anything, so I was like, oh, that's cool, I guess. So it's been good so far. Obviously, there's still stuff you got to do. Like, it never ends, but where dashboard? Yeah, so it's been good so far.
Yeah, I'd say, launch it and you're making money. That's always a good sign, right?
Yeah. A lot. I like part of my thing with it is I ordered everything that's going to be on the site. I ordered for myself. Hey, what's up, dog? So I ordered everything myself. So those, like, I did that well in advance. So those have started to come through, and I'm really pleased with the stuff that I've sourced. Yeah, fuck you too, buddy. That's good. So, because if I'm gonna have it on my site and I'm gonna be selling it to people, I want to make sure that A, it'll fucking arrive, and B, that it's fucking worth the amount of money that I'm selling it for. So, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, it looks like it's something you need to stay on top of the first, so you make sure everything's going smoothly.
Yeah, it's going good. I gotta this week I'm gonna start the marketing. So I've just been so busy. I fucking got off work at damn 1 o'clock. Well, we were talking about Jesus for like the last fucking hour and a half, damn near. Jesus and trannies for the most part.
Nice.
Separate things.
Jesus was the tranny.
Oh no. Everyone wore robes back then. That was the style.
Well, I mean, the transition was from divinity to flesh.
You guys ever look into Jesus not being called Jesus? Like, that's not his real name.
Yeshua.
There you go.
Jesus' name was Josh.
I just like to refer to him as J-Dog.
Master J.
That's funny.
You see what happens?
I got into an argument, a debate with a Muslim once on Discord, and I forget what we were talking about exactly, but he said, oh my gosh, crap. I don't remember what we were talking about, but the fact that Jesus was Jewish came up, and I said that. I was like, well, Jesus is Jewish, and he was like, where in the Bible does it say that Jesus is Jewish? This is the problem. He started off the debate by saying, I've read the Bible from cover to cover. That's what he said. And I was like, oh, you have? And then we were debating, and then after 20 minutes I was like, yeah, well, Jesus is Jewish. And he said, where in the Bible does it say that? And I was like, I thought you read the Bible.
Well, see, so here's the thing when it comes to Muslims. They hold Jesus in high regard because he's not their Messiah, but he is one of their many prophets. So they do acknowledge Jesus, and he does hold a very important part in their religion. But because they hate Judaism so fucking much that they just totally disassociate that one fact.
Yeah, totally.
I just think it's weird that everyone thinks Jesus is fucking white. Like, in most pictures, he's like this pasty fucking Wonder Bread Casper-looking motherfucker. When in actuality,
blue eyes.
Yeah.
Jesus was a brown, nappy-headed midget.
Yeah, that makes so much. Okay,
I heard he was black.
Oh, can you? All right. So we need to summarize this conversation so this person can jump in. Transvestites, no such thing as the wage gap. Fat bitches need love too. We live in a false reality known as the Matrix, but it's not the Matrix because it is the Matrix, but it's some sort of weird fucked up simulation that Elon Musk is all got his dick all about. Hold on, I'm getting there. Jesus Christ is real, Jesus Christ isn't real. Muslims hate Jews. Welcome to the program. Roughly around there, right?
Bravo.
Which is better, Despacito 1 or 2? Neither of them. Are you talking about the song Despacito? I've only heard the first one. That's it. I don't know what this whole Despacito 2 thing is. I think it's a PewDiePie thing.
I don't know. It sounds like a meme. I don't really like memes.
Wow. Okay. A lot to catch up on. Let's see. We live in a society. Yeah, no shit. Yes, we do live in a society. Oh my god, dude.
So, Princess, you know a lot about the Bible?
No, I have read, I would say, 70% of the Bible, and
Whoa.
some
Those are
of
rookie
the
numbers. You gotta get the numbers
some
up.
of I know some of the books I've read over and over again because I'll get so far in the Old Testament and then I'll be like, oh, it's kind of blurry. I'm gonna go back and start over, and I've done that like 3 times. So like some of the stories I'm like I remember pretty well, and then it starts getting a little bit dicey.
I don't know. You don't have to read the Bible to like argue the Bible, because chances are nobody else has read it either. So you can say whatever you want.
Well, I would highly recommend like the New Testament, just reading the first book is Matthew, and then reading Revelation if you have no attention span, because Revelations hasn't happened yet, and it's like the most interesting one. It's the most interesting book of all because it hasn't happened yet. So like,
That's one interpretation, I think.
oh really?
Oh, it's
Wait, are you Jehovah's Witness?
No, I'm just saying that there's...
Oh.
The Bible doesn't necessarily predict anything. Revelation could mean that it's revealed, meaning it's already happened.
Well, if it already happened, then Jesus would come back and we'd all have different bodies.
Check this shit out. If your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. In doing this, you will heap burning coals on his head. Do not overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good.
Preach it.
How do I text to speech? Oh, fuck. I got
The
someone...
idea would be that we wouldn't know how many times Jesus has done that.
Oh, text to speech is done through the link down below. That's how you text to speech. Why do people ask that? It's 2018. Live streaming. Text to speech. Across the board, it's the same everywhere.
Man, that quote sounded like some Machiavellian shit. Like,
from the Bible.
Like shower your enemies with goodies so they come to love you to make stabbing them in the back go so sweeter.
Jesus Christ. Literally. No, it's from Romans 12.
Damn, so I gotta read that shit. I might be able to apply it to something in my life for once.
There's some
I
good...
want to argue with that guy about Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a dipshit.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Pump the hate brakes, bro. Whoa, whoa. Where is this coming from? One of the things that's weird is he wants to nuke Mars. Because for whatever fuck all reason, Elon Musk thinks if we nuke Mars, it'll create enough heat so that the poles, the CO2 that's in the poles, will evaporate. And there we can get an atmosphere. There's no magnetosphere on Mars, okay, Elon? So that's just gonna evaporate into fucking nothing, okay? It's not gonna fucking work. You're gonna destroy a goddamn planet that we haven't even landed on yet with human feet. Gotta preface that.
Just watch an interview with the guy for that lasted hour. You'll get a sense of him. Just not sound bits you see on the news. Listen to him after he launched a car into space, what he had to say about that, how much he knew about that kind of stuff, like Mesa's saying with Mars.
I'm here to argue. Okay, what do you want to argue about? Pizza boots or pizzin boots? So besides streaming, what else do you do? Alright, you guys can answer that. Let them know all the tricks that I do.
Mesa's in the game.
These headphones suck ass? That might be your opinion, dude. I love these fucking headphones. They're fucking toppy tippers. Mesa's what?
Mesa sells t-shirts. He has a YouTube website. He's got different apps that he gets contracts to do different things. And he talks about that stuff on the stream all the time. So definitely stick around. Mesa's quite an entrepreneur.
And he will eat half a cup of mayonnaise if you donate $500 in the next hour.
A whole half a cup of that shit?
Yeah.
That's fucked up, man.
Wait, would you do it?
How much money did you say?
Okay, would you do it for $100?
I'd do it for $100. Half a cup of mayonnaise.
She was pricing high, man. She said 500.
Oh,
I know we got some cheapskates in here.
I got this dude over on YouTube saying he wants to do text to speech, but he wants. Do I have to donate to do text to speech? Pretty much across the board, that's how you do it. So, unfortunately, yes, I don't know any other way to do it. But even with people paying money to donate, they say some pretty off the wall shit on this show. So,
I mean, it's what you're buying.
happens, Larry, when you fuck a stranger in the act.
that's what happens. Thank you for that. 9/11 did 9/11. It's true.
Yeah, and he hosts this show that a bunch of crazy people come on here and talk about all kinds of crazy shit.
All right. So what do I do? I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I don't want to classify myself 100% as an entrepreneur because I'm still working out the kinks on that bad boy. But I have that mentality, and that's what I'm striving for. I have my own website where I sell DIY tools, supplies, and gear, shit like that. I'm a YouTube content creator. I do live stream. When I live stream, it's primarily this. I wouldn't mind live streaming me playing games, but honestly, when I play a game, I'm doing it for enjoyment. So I don't know. I don't really live stream games because I just don't think that would be good content for you guys. I work as a handyman of sorts. I work with TaskRabbit, going around town, taking care of business for all sorts of people all over fucking town. Yeah, doing that hustle game pretty hard, pretty strong. Doing what I can to take care of the roof that is over our head.
Are you able to do like Are you able to do a mobile stream where you like take your phone and stream in the car?
I do that all the time. Well, not all the time, but I used to do it a lot. But go ahead.
Oh, sorry. How much money would someone have to donate for you to go through the drive-thru at McDonald's and order an ice cream cone and then grab the ice cream by like the ice cream instead of the cone and then smear it all over your face?
On my face?
Or just your mouth. Like, you just grab it, don't even grab the cone, and just pull forward.
Oh my fucking god, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's... You're asking for a lot, okay? Number one,
You probably don't want to ruin your reputation at that McDonald's. Is there another McDonald's you could drive to?
Oh, I don't give a fuck.
Is there, like, some fast food place that you would never go again?
Not really. So let me preface it by saying this. Whenever I go to a fast food establishment and I place an order, I try to be chipper, I try to be cool and everything. But if I pull through and I have a bad customer experience, like they fuck something up, they forget something, this, that, and the other, I audibly, nice and loud, say this is why they shouldn't raise the minimum wage right before I drive off. Just so they know how fucking irritated that I fucking am. So, and then I end up going back to that same place with the same crew working there with guys mad dogging me, but at least they're fucking remembering a goddamn straw at that point.
And does your food taste like spit?
No. A little bit more salty, so something like cum.
Ew.
No. Well, I do different voices every time I go through. Like, one day I'm Southern, one day I'm fucking Australian. Like, I change it up so they never know it's me. So by the time I go to get my food, it's like, oh, fuck, it was that dude that fucking said that, you know, we aren't worth more than minimum wage. Yeah, fuck that guy. But I've gotten my food and they haven't had the opportunity to spit in it. So, good on me. But yeah, going back to that.
What if you wore a mask and they didn't know, like well, I guess they would recognize your car, but.
Here's the thing. It's not going through the drive-thru, getting the ice cream and smearing it. Like, I'm not, it's like whatever. Like, as far as what the people inside think, I don't give a fuck what other people think. So I would gladly go through the same McDonald's again. I would go through the same place again. No problem. At all.
Wait, what if you got like out? Like, what if you leaned out your window and then you started licking it while you were still holding it?
What?
While they were still holding it, you started licking the ice cream.
That's fucking weird, dude.
That's
Man,
I have some
So creative.
die-hard troll.
That's some weird ass shit.
Videos you've been watching.
I love those videos. I don't know why. Well, not all of them, but like
You
I
spend
did
a lot
see
of time
video
on the
of
trending
somebody doing-
page, don't you?
On what? What?
The trending page on YouTube.
On YouTube? Oh, I
I
thought
think-
trending was like catered to what you watch because it always.
No, that's recommended.
Yeah, I don't know.
Recommended catered.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I never watched the trending, but it's like recommended for you. A woman farts on live TV. Like, I'm such a troll. Like, I don't know. It just if it makes me laugh.
Hold on. Be right back.
Freak of the week.
That was the entire season 1 of Smallville, and like half of season 2.
What?
Freak of the week.
Oh.
You know, every episode there'd be some kind of build up,
Oh yeah.
some nonsense going on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Clark catches wind of it, goes and whips some ass, saves the dame, and then it resets the next episode.
It's like the same storyline over and over again with different villains. But did you guys hear about the blonde chick that was like part of a sex cult from
God.
Smallville?
That's deep shit, man.
What was her name?
That's
Chloe?
crazy. Oh, yeah, on the show her name was Chloe. Shit, what's her name? Hold on.
Isn't that the Catholic Church that does the sex cult?
Oh my god.
Allison Mack.
Yeah.
I was
That's
shocked when I
crazy.
looked at how much money the Vatican and the Catholic Church set aside for lawsuits regarding sexual scandals. It's like, no way.
That makes me sick.
Actress charged with recruiting sex slaves. Oh my.
What's really freaky is the people that get accused of this stuff just get shuffled around, and you're just like, oh my goodness, they're still allowed to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
And it's the
Yeah, I don't
politicians,
trust
too.
the Catholic Church.
Politicians, plenty of charges. The Speaker of the House, politicians getting charged with this kind of stuff all the time. Epstein Island. I don't know if you've ever heard of that one.
Is that the one where Bill Clinton went to?
Yeah, everyone went.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know much about it. Just heard like little rumors.
Yeah, the black book that got out, the logs of who was on the airplanes that went there. It's one hell of a list.
Wait, is it women or children?
Well, it's that's underage people that are on the island. But I mean,
Ugh.
islands don't have laws, so it's not. I mean, it's interesting to see like how they prosecute this kind of stuff. So, for instance, the Vatican's law is like 12, 13 years old. It's the legal limit, which is crazy. But yeah, it's interesting that how they skirt around all this stuff.
Yes.
Like when Bieber went to his island with his girlfriend and he was underage.
Oh, is that when they took pictures of his ding dong?
I don't know, but he was pretty young.
Maybe not, because that happened like last year or something.
This was when he was like 15 or 16.
Oh. Oh, you're talking about the prostitute that recorded him while he was sleeping?
Nah, he went to an island where the legal limit was for him to have sex was he was of age with his girlfriend at the time, like his first public girlfriend.
Well, that happened.
Do you guys think that Justin Bieber and Miley Cyrus are the same person?
Is that a conspiracy theory?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, nah, man. They exist in corners that I never expected. There's a conspiracy theory behind everything.
Yep. There's a conspiracy theory that Avril Lavigne has been dead for years and they replaced her with a doppelganger. And they have like pictures showing like the difference of her face and like her hair and her voice. And I'm thinking like, yeah, she grew up, but I don't know. It's the people who came up with this are more interesting than the actual theory.
I mean, I don't know. I was kind of into that conspiracy theory for a while. I was like, oh my god, the way it's explained, it almost makes sense.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's like one of those pet theories that like I know it's horse shit, right? But I want it to be true. Like I want to believe it because it's just so out there.
People that I believe that have been replaced, like right now.
Oh,
Dave
fucking
Chappelle,
Christ. Oh, here we go again.
Eminem.
Oh.
And, yeah.
Wait. Do you think Dave Chappelle was like Get Out, where they...
Yeah, I think he was done. And they wanted to continue to use his name for comedy. And, you know, he sells a lot of tickets. He retired.
And Eminem, they couldn't find a man that looked like him, so they found Ellen.
There you go. I don't know. When I hear him do certain stuff and look at him do certain stuff, just not the same guy. Now, I'm not saying that the record.
Real quick,
record's
that's
And then
not
just got old.
That's not catching me up with anything. That's just normal. Okay, that's what normally happens on this stream. All right. So what do you guys think I went to go do? Apparently, what was the poll? What was the consensus?
That you went to do?
Apparently, someone was asking about it. Like, let's take a poll. What did Mace go do?
The dishes.
No, I had to help put the child to sleep.
Aww.
It's crazy. His sleep schedule's been fucking whack lately. Like he didn't.
Yeah.
Like, he barely napped today, and he's just been up. So.
That happened.
Yeah. Anyway, I think someone's gonna be joining. Oh wait, Mace has a kid. I have 2 kids. I have 2. I have a 21-month-old and a 8-year-old.
Say your oldest son's age in months.
All right, my oldest
When
son...
people ask you.
What?
When people ask you, like, how old are your kids, just say both of their ages in months.
Okay. Right now? Or in the future?
Yeah, like, both.
8 years old, November 23rd, 2009. 9. No. Yes, 9. I'm stupid. And then, fucking November 16th, 2016. I don't fucking... They're both born in November. Jesus fucking Christ. My brain. It's not y'all, it's me. I'm all kerfuffulated. I guess there's someone that was going to join the Discord, but I'm not sure. I've had a couple of people ask for the link, and I've given it out, but none of them have come on.
May says pretend married.
Yeah, it's. I don't have a wife. I have a fake wife. So, not married, no. But my
It's a lot better than having to pay real alimony.
Our 4-year anniversary. Can I join the? Yeah, dude, it's open. Go for it. Our 4-year anniversary is this Thursday, and oh fuck! Speaking of which, I need to order that present for her because I finally figured out the present I was gonna get her, and it's pretty special.
Your mic is lighting up, but we can't hear you, but Garrett.
You can't hear me?
No. Hello.
Oh, Garrett. Hello, welcome.
It's me. I don't really know why I joined. Just decided to see what you guys are up to.
Oh,
Because you can, man. That's cool.
welcome to the show, dude.
So, are you the sedated turd?
Hey, that's me.
Welcome.
Thanks, guys.
Sedated turd.
Yeah.
Oh, from the. Oh, got you.
Yeah, from Twitch. Yep.
So what do you?
Cheers,
What's your business, broski? What do you do? You a
Okay,
content creator, or you just watch shit?
Nope. Yep. Definitely just watch stuff. I'm in college. I was just scrolling through a bunch of random stuff.
All right. So what? So when you clicked on this show, what made you click on the show? Was it the title? It was probably that title, huh?
Definitely the arguing part. I just wanted to see what kind of conversations came up.
It gets there. Sometimes there was one time someone brought up Infinity War and they started talking shit, and I let this bitch have it. She don't fucking.
We booed him off stage.
Yeah.
Wait,
we
so
get there.
You think Infinity War is bad?
No, I thought it was good. She was basically, there were some things that she didn't like about it, but this person, they were taking the very little that they knew about the comics, and what was already established in the MCU, and they were kind of trying to like, oh well, they did this, they did that, they did this, they did that, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It was fucking inane, and I basically let the bitch have it, like. She brought up the whole thing about the Hulk, and I'm like, look, the reason why the Hulk is the way that it is because of storytelling reasons, right? They licensed the Hulk to be in the Avengers, but he can't have his own standalone movie. So in order to develop the storyline of Bruce Banner / the Hulk, you have to develop that character storyline through the movies that he's in. That's why in the Infinity War, the reason why that's happening is because that's a continuation of that character's story. You know, and she just wouldn't fucking get it. Then I had to go in to fucking talk about Doctor Strange and how they retcon certain things and how they kind of nerfed him over the years and this, that, and the other. And it's oh my god.
Yeah, that sounds like quite a hassle.
That it really isn't. It's just me being petty about stupid nerd bullshit. So.
What do you expect from a girl?
I thought it was a young boy, to be honest.
Oh wait, I think that's a real question.
Wait, is this a question or is this talking about the thing?
That sounds more like a talking point. Yeah. Is that what?
Is it directed towards me?
I guess towards any of us. What do we expect from women?
I'm just kidding.
Oh well, because I can.
But tell me anyway.
I say no. I think we started the conversation now. It's too late to back out.
Yeah.
I don't expect anything from women because setting expectations is where you get upset.
Oh dang.
See, I like to call myself old-fashioned, so I would prefer that Stepford wife. Unfortunately, that's not a reality I live in. So, yeah.
I prefer at least 6 inches.
Oh my.
So yeah, mates actually used to sit on the street corner and hold a sign that said, "I will argue with anyone about anything for money."
That's what it was. Mace was the guy that says, "Change
And
my
that's how I
mind."
built the dynasty that you see today.
Well, yeah, the idea of this show came from Change My Mind. Change My Mind, that turned into its own fucking meme. Love Steven Crowder, will watch a lot of his shit. But yeah, so his thing was, Steven Crowder's, he's very educated in the stuff that he talks about. Me, on the other hand, I am not so much. I have a lot of opinions on things. I do my due diligence and my research on various topics, but I'm more of a jack of all trades, whereas he's kind of narrowed in on certain talking points. So on my end, it kind of keeps me relatively well-rounded, and I like to keep the show relatively open. That's why I let people come in and we can kind of like tackle anything and everything. And if I can't say something about something, I'll tack it on to someone else. And if we disagree, fuck it. All good. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't... I go to sleep at night the same, whether people agree with me or not. So I'm perfectly fine with a little bit of disagreements here and there.
So is everyone else here part of the stream and then just join throughout the time that it's been going on?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
We're just fans.
Yeah.
But we do usually have a question, at least when I'm around. Maybe Mace wants to ask you.
All right. I need to ask you this. It's the most serious question. There's two serious questions, and this is probably the number one. Is the Earth round?
We go on there again. God damn it.
Is the Earth round or is the Earth flat? We need to know this.
It's obviously a pyramid.
Oh, Christ.
I'm kidding. It's round.
Oh, thank you.
The moon is flat.
Dude, we had someone come on here one time that was a flat earther as well, and it just threw my whole machine out of proportion, dude.
One thing you can't explain about a flat Earth is, like, how does it orbit? How does the flat Earth orbit?
It doesn't. The Earth is stationary.
It's a giant disc that sits upon a giant cosmic turtle or some shit. I don't know.
That's cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I'm going with round. Final answer, Alex.
Round and spinning. Check. Roger. Got it. Thanks.
Yep. Wait, what's the second question?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to know the second question? Well, this is one that's been a mainstay of the fucking stream since its inauguration. Are traps gay?
Dude, we put a nail in this, right? Like it's.
I don't think we have. Because I
it's
still say
it's a non-issue.
Yeah.
How many times do I have to go over this?
Yeah. The simple short answer is yeah.
Earth is a doctahedron and traps are mega gay.
And that's why we asked the question.
Everyone has a different answer.
Well, everyone else is wrong. The definition of trap comes from the intent. Like trapping, like it's something that somebody's doing.
True.
I mean, yeah, you don't necessarily have to be gay to be a trap, but traps are predominantly gay because of the implication of what you're doing.
Thank you. Yes, from that perspective, yes, we have hit the nail on the head, but it's not dead because the reason why is everyone has a different perspective, and I'm open.
So you keep asking the question. Like, as you know, I want to figure out how you specifically are wrong on the matter.
Yeah, I just like calling people out on their bullshit. So yeah, you caught me.
Well, dang, I didn't mean to poo-poo on your party.
No, it's all good. No, because I've had people come in here that try to justify that shit till the fucking cows come home. But it's always like the same stupid bullshit, right? At least when it comes to the flat Earth. Like the flat Earth, I might disagree with it entirely, but at least there's a conversation to be had. I may not agree with it. I might find it bullshit at the end of the day. But you know what? At least there's something to be said. With the whole traps aren't gay thing, that's just guys trying to justify them being gay and trying to find a way that, well, I'm not gay because it's a feminine penis. Like, what the fuck is a feminine penis?
Or they try to drag traps into the trans debate, and it has, being a trap has nothing to do with being trans. Although a trans could be a trap.
Wait. Can we pause for a second? What is a trap?
All right, foibles. You
There
take
you
this
go.
one. You take this
Okay,
one.
so a trap is a man that flaunts like feminine features in order to typically like guile a woman or guile a straight man. It's usually like because in some gay communities, right, there's like a sort of like a fetish where they want to have sex with a straight guy, and how some of them go about doing it is, donning like a feminine appearance and tricking them into some wholesome, butt sex.
So the word trap is what it actually means. It's a trap.
Catfish.
Yes, it's literally a trap.
So it's a real trap. And so the question here is, are traps gay?
Predominantly yes, but not necessarily so.
Why is flip flopping? Wait, I thought we had this just figured out.
Well, I mean that's the answer. That's the answer, because you have to bring in, because people want to know where transsexuals fall into that. And that's why I say predominantly gay, not necessarily so. Like, if you exclude transsexuals, then traps are all the way traps are gay 100% of the time. But you bring transsexuals in there, and there's the floating stigma of being trans or whatever. So a trans person might also have some motivation to want to trap a straight male.
Man, what a world we live in.
It's a really fucked up one, if you ask me.
Yeah, where a lot of people get screwed up because they think it's like trap is some kind of descriptor of like a trans person, and that's not the case.
You're really wishing we would have.
slur.
You're really wishing we would have started talking about flat Earth instead, aren't you?
Nah, to be honest, I thought trap was like a trap house, like where you sell drugs and stuff at.
I used to live in a trap house.
Yeah, so I had
two of
no
them.
clue.
The trap house off Coffeen Street in Watertown, New York, and the trap house off Mill Street in Watertown, New York. Good times.
Wow. So they weren't connected? It wasn't like one mega trap house? Or
No, we just switched locations.
Well, I mean, stay away from your traps and their trap houses.
Yeah.
I'm not addicted to cocaine. I just like the smell.
So anything with trap, you gotta watch out for.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
trap music is pretty lame.
Then are mouse traps?
What?
All right, hold on. I don't understand. I feel like you're a live Mocha's meme waiting for me to TOS you. What?
Who, me?
Eel.
What does
someone in
TOS
chat
mean? Terms of service?
Oi,
Oh
Miss.
no. What?
I came on to say bye before I go to school.
Hey, it's our favorite Australian. What's going on?
First day at school, guys.
Wait.
Fucking 6th grade, man. They grow up so fast.
6th grade. I don't know how that works. It's like, it's way different here.
It's a wee different here.
Anyway, I've got to go now. I'll have fun. Bye. I'll speak to you when I'm there.
All right, Braveheart. Take care, buddy.
Bye bye.
Good luck.
Why
Good
do
old
Australian-
William Wallace there.
Why do Australian people all sound like Brandon Rogers?
He's not Australian. He's Scottish.
Yeah, the best say they didn't sound Australian.
No.
So I don't
like,
know where that came from.
A Scottish voice trap.
Well, it's funny because every time he comes on, people try to guess, and a lot of people think he's Welsh. And he's like, I ain't fucking Welsh. He gets all fucking in a tizzy about it.
Oh wait, someone. Thanks.
How many genders are there?
2.
2.
Only.
Fuck, I don't know anymore, man.
And always will be.
3. I don't know what God is.
Male.
You know what got me? So people, this whole identity politics thing, it's like, oh, they took the idea of a personal sexual orientation and they equated it to a gender. I think that's where the big miscommunication happened. So your sexual identity, your sexual preference, that then goes into your gender identity and shit. So that's what people think. Don't forget asexual, there's really 3. No, there's not, because asexual, that's like a sexual preference. It's not a gender, right? And like the whole, oh, I'm gender fluid. It's like my gender it's fluid. It's like water. It changes. It's like 1 minute I'm a guy, 1 minute I'm a girl. So in the situation where it benefits me, I'm that gender. Get the fuck out of here. Jesus Christ, dude.
Well, like,
I'm gonna rock around and roll with the big boys, but the moment that some hard work has to get done, I'm a dainty little female. Oh no.
Can you do that with race too? Like when you're in the hood as like a white nerd, you can just be like, "No, guys, I'm black."
Yeah, transracial.
Yeah.
There was a girl. Check this out. There was this girl, this white chick.
Can I denounce my whiteness?
Wait a second. White chicks. I know this movie.
No. There was this girl, this white girl. She worked for the NAACP or whatever that.
Oh yeah.
She fucking she did her hair up as if she was black. She tanned herself so she would look like she was mixed or whatever. And for like decades, like for years, she was working with this organization because they thought that she was black because she said that she was black. And then it finally came out that she wasn't black at all, not even a little bit.
You talking about Rachel Dolezal or something like that?
Yeah. And it's like, are you African American? It's like, well, I identify as black. It's like, it's not the same thing. That's not the same thing.
That was so funny when that reporter asked her, "So is your father Caucasian?" And she was like, she didn't know what to say. And she looked orange from her fake tanner. Like she had freckles and like her hair was permed. It was, yeah. That was horrible.
It's like she didn't even
what about Sean
King? Right. Sean King, what's up with the whole Sean King thing?
I heard somebody in the comments call him, or I read somebody in the comments call him Talcum X. Because he says he's black, but he looks white.
Oh, that's funny now that I know what he does.
Let me do a Google search.
Oh yeah. He's like a advocate for Black Lives Matter.
What the fuck?
If he shaved his mustache, you wouldn't even there's no
That is a Caucasian from the mountains of Caucasus.
Exactly.
That is a white male baby. What kind of prescription is that? I didn't know. He's only 3 months old. He's got a better credit rating than me.
Damn.
That motherfucker's, yeah. I think he's mixed with something, but I don't see no black in him.
I don't think he is though. I think he's like that other chick.
Man, interesting.
I don't know. Can I sidestep my white privilege and all this hate by just co-opting into another race?
Well,
fuck it, double down. I'll co-opt into another race and another gender.
So the way it works is with the Black Lives Matter, that kind of goes back in like when you look at high schools and stuff, how they have like the gay straight alliance, where you can be an ally. So you're not gay, but you're an ally and you're an advocate for what they do. So that's basically what the snowflakes, the leftist privileged white snowflakes have done. Is they advocate for these other races so that they can feel better for shit that they have no problem with, no involvement with. Let's look back in time, right? The civil rights movement, and even back further than that, the slave trade and all that. Are those all horrible things? Yes, and I'm glad that we had the civil rights movement because yes, it was fucking needed. However, that was before my generation. That was shit that was going on. The civil rights movement shit when my mom was growing up, like that, she saw the aftermath of the whole civil rights movement and everything, and it's like those are so far, generationally speaking, those are so far removed from the generations of millennials in 2018. But for some fuck all reason, the millennials fucking feel bad for shit that they have no involvement in, that they are not ultimately responsible for, you know. And people are so hemmed up, and even the people that are claiming, oh, we need this, that, and the other because centuries ago or decades ago, the straight white male did this to us, and it's like so your generation now that did not live through any of that, that grew up in the late 80s, early 90s, you're demanding reparations and you're demanding this, that, and the other from the same generation as you that, once again, had no involvement, nor did they live through or experience any of that shit. How does any of that make fucking sense at all?
Yeah, I don't know. If you're looking for an answer, I don't know.
Oh, it was rhetorical, but if someone wants to chime in and say, Mace Valor, you're absolutely right. That's fucking bullshit. Oh, thank you. I totally agree.
Honestly, whenever I fill out scholarships or whatever, I just put ally just because, you know.
I feel you. There was a book that was written by a guy. This dude, he got a scholarship, a full ride scholarship to some Ivy League university. And the reason why he got the scholarship was because it was for blacks only. The guy was Indian. Like dot, not feather. But just because of his skin color, he was able to get that scholarship. And it's like, there are so many doors that are closed, right? You can look into it. There are so many advantages if you're a woman, if you're gay, if you're trans, if you're anything other than a white, straight male. There's a lot of incentives out there in the world for you, whether it be small business loans, or like getting started up with government programs to get like your foot in the door in certain avenues, even with private schools, state schools, universities and whatnot. There's a lot of advantages out there for people that fit into some category, that if you can attach a label to yourself, there's a way you can piggyback off of that. So let's take a look at the whole trans thing, right? One of the arguments was about the whole, labeling male, female, this, that, and the other. Is there any advantage from that? Well, there are advantages from that, right? Look at the whole bathroom argument, right? It's like, well, we want trans to be able to use the bathroom because we want to go to the bathroom that we identify as. Okay, that's all fine and dandy, and I kind of get the sentiment of it, but if you look at the advantageousness of it, you take a male, right? But he says, I identify as a female. He can then easily get on programs that will help incentivize him for like starting up a small business. Well, it's a small business that's owned and operated by a woman. You see what I'm saying? There's tax incentives and advantages that you can get that way.
I think a trans person should be able to enter the restroom of like the sex they're transitioning into whenever they have the requisite genitals.
All right. So the proper. All right. So that's an area where I can kind of get a little bit more into it. So I might believe that there's only two genders. You make a full transition, I still consider you the gender that you were born with. However, let's say that you go into Target, right? Let's say me, but I look exactly like me. By Target's current standards, me, dressed like this, no problem, I can walk into the women's restroom. And if anyone bats an eye, fuck them. Target will look at those people with hateful eyes. Like, how dare you? That person believes that they're a female, therefore they should be allowed to go in there, right? So that's where I have a problem with it. When you have some fucking burly looking fucking like Paul Bunyan looking motherfucker going into the girl's restroom when he fucking shouldn't. He got the flannel, he got the fucking beard, but oh, I'm wearing panties underneath, so it's okay. Fuck out of here. But if you've done the due diligence and you, like, let's say you haven't had the surgery yet, right? But you're all dolled up, you're on the hormones, you're in the path of making that transition. Who the fuck am I to say that you've had your dick cut off yet or not? I'm not gonna know. I'm not lifting up that skirt. I'm not opening that can of fucking worms. But you can validate the fact that yes, I identify as a female. Yes, I'm in the middle of the transition. I've got the dress on. I've got the makeup. This is who I am. Then fine, fuck it. Use the goddamn fucking restroom. Because I feel like you're far less likely to cause an issue than fucking whatever redneck hick fuck wants to fucking pretend he's whatever gender fucking today. Jesus fucking Christ.
What if he's a tomboy transgender?
Well, motherfucker, you gotta go fucking pee standing up. Get those urinal cakes wet.
So, Arizona T, are you in Arizona? Oh my ass.
No, not Arizona, no. I'm in beautiful, fabulous Las Vegas.
Oh. I don't like Vegas. I'm from Vegas. I used to live there.
Take that.
Hello. Who the fuck leaves their McDonald's trash about? Oh, you mean the drink? My drink? That when I started this stream, it was my drink? It's... Actually, there's still drink in there. Fuck it. My nails look painted. My nails are not painted. My nails are good to go. Oh, wow, that they do look like it. Oh, let's focus. No, these are just my nails.
How much would someone have to donate for you to paint your nails on stream?
Ooh. Good question.
Well, because I'd have to go to work like that tomorrow.
Even better.
Give me a number. A reasonable $1,200 million.
$30.
No, not $30.
$4.20.
$75.
What?
How about $10 a nail? $100. $10 a nail. That seems appropriate.
I would go to school tomorrow for $15 with all my nails painted.
Me too.
Alright. So, breast milk or formula?
How much would someone have to donate for you to super glue like hair to your nails?
What the fuck?
Like shave like your armpits or something.
What?
Put it on a paper
Oh, you mean this?
plate.
I already shaved my
And then
armpits. Joke's on you.
Glue.
Oh, wait
Okay, then you have to get someone else's hair. Super
That's fucking
glue.
disgusting. Yeah, let me go to
Hair
my
to your
fucking.
nails.
Let me go to my Iraqi neighbor. Like, hey, can I shave your back real quick? I need enough hair to cover my fucking fingernails. I'll just take like a square
You can
inch
shave
because
your
you
legs.
motherfuckers are hairy as fuck.
That's so much.
Just go into the shower and go in the drain, and then.
Joke's on
No,
me.
but, like,
I've
how
already
mu-
taken care of that. My house is squeaky clean. I'm a handyman. I make sure that all the
Squeaky.
drains are unclogged.
Okay, but let's just say you had hair like from your armpits. How much would it cost for you to super glue? Or not? Well, I guess
Super glue?
that's damaging. No, not super glue. Just a regular Elmer's glue. All the hair, and you have to keep it on there for like 24 hours.
Oh Christ. $100 per fucking nail. Like that's a heavy task. That's a heavy task. I gotta eat with these hands. Okay, come on.
That is true. I mean, you could not eat for 24 hours.
Alright, I got one. How much would someone have to donate to you for you to call the Dutch police?
Wait, do what?
What's the Dutch police?
I don't fucking know. This is the police in Dutch. What?
Oh, so like actually call the police from... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Come on, people. They're putting stuff in the water to turn the frogs gay.
It's the globalist conspiracy theorists. They're not theorists. They're factual, hiding information right in front of our fucking eyes. I am telling right now, the government is putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. They're trying to get all of us. That's what they do. They want to rip apart a good Christian nation. They want to rip us apart by the genomes. They want to attack us where we can't fucking stand it. They want to get in our heads, ladies and gentlemen. You need to buy my herbal water. It is scientifically proven to cure all ailments provided by the government. Thank you very much. Uncle Sam getting right inside of our pocketbooks through the medical system. I'm telling you, the government owns the medical system. That's why it's all fucked. Telling you. Why the Jake Paul poster? It's tongue-in-cheek. This guy's a fucking joke. One of the things that we do on here is donations that we add to the picture. You know, the beard, the Hitler stash, the teardrop. 1 hour photo. He's a great fan. I love having him around. Tattooed him right there. You know, it's just all part of the game. Could you possibly speak without the lisp? Do I have a lisp yet, ladies and gentlemen? We got a troll up in this bitch. What's his name? Ransack 516.
Oh.
Sack?
Sack.
Ransack. Ransack. There we go.
Ransack.
They are putting people on TV with lisps a lot more often these days. I was like, damn, that's a lot of lisping.
I think a lisp is an endearing quality. Like, you know, it's like, damn, it really puts them on my level.
It's like you gotta lisp into it all the time.
Hey, do you know what photo's on right now?
What?
I don't think so.
Damn. Yeah, it says he's offline. I'm not gonna fuck with him. Is that it? Yes, it's a nice tiny little robot dick right here. Here's a bigger robot dick. Notice they're both black. Oh fuck! Oh, you guys want to hear a fucking story? Okay, I got my car broken into last night.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that fucking happened.
What a crazy story.
Did they steal anything?
Yeah, they went in, they opened my glove compartment, they removed all the fucking, they like threw all like the paperwork I had in there. Like I guess they were like looking for something real quick, but they grabbed my vape that was on my passenger seat. And the fucked up thing too is it was a nice neighborhood. It wasn't like the shitty part of Vegas. It was like a nice gated community. So
some kids.
I mean, probably some fucking kids. Well,
my dad always told me don't even leave change in your cup holders because crackheads will break the window for 25 cents.
Let's argue about that dad look you're trying to pull off. Well, joke's on you. I am a dad. I got 2 kids.
He's got 2
8 years old, 21 months old, both born in November. There,
yeah.
Princess, are you fucking happy now? Jesus Christ.
November
No.
16th.
I want you to say your 8-year-old's age in months.
8 times 12.
What?
I'm bad at math.
96.
Yeah, you have to say I have a 96-month-old.
Why do you need to fit the look, though? Because I got off of work, so this is just what I'm wearing that is comfortable, okay? I'm just wearing whatever is fucking comfortable, thank you, okay? That's it. Shane Dawson is amazing. Shane Dawson can suck a fucking dick, literally, because he's gay.
I'm going 105. 21 months and 105 months.
Wait.
Neil deGrasse Tyson's gay?
No. Is he married?
Then he can suck a dick too.
I think he's got the gay aesthetic going on. Like I think, you know, if he walked into a gay bar, I don't think he'd stick out much.
You know, I listen to Star Talk Radio. I love listening to him and his co-host, but I can't stand the episodes with Bill Nye. I've lost so much respect for that man over the years. Like, he's literally, like, as a scientist, he's kind of, like, just said, fuck it, because he's followed through with all this whole social snowflake leftist change. And it's just, like, what happened to the science guy, man? What happened to the science guy?
Science
He
rules.
was faking it.
You just like Neil deGrasse because he did the Cosmos series. And he told you about all those pretty pictures.
All right,
I love Black Science, man.
I liked Cosmos, don't get me wrong, but I've watched Cosmos with fucking Carl Sagan. So, I mean, I like hell, I used to watch, what was it? I think it was on History Channel, what's it, the show The Universe, right? And that had multiple
Carl Sagan was gay?
Carl Sagan? I have no idea. I don't know enough about Carl Sagan, so I know about the shit that he talked about, but I don't know much about his personal life. Could have been gay for all I know. Did he have any kids?
No, he was an incel.
Alright, so unfortunately we have some trolls in here, and I'm about to drop this Discord link, so yeah, this is going to get real interesting, because I do know one person does want to get in on it, and they asked politely, so yeah, fuck it. So
are we going to let the trolls in? This will be cool.
I mean, unfortunately everyone's going to come in, but you know, you guys have moderator privileges, so get to fucking work.
I don't know how to use them. And if I did know how to use them, I'd abuse them.
You just whisper the link, you know?
If you push Alt F4, then the Discord link will pop up automatically.
Alright, hold on.
It actually works
Hold
better
on.
if you hold.
Listen to what this fucking. Alright, I wish that this fucking
True.
dude would come in and say some shit. He probably
Do
won't,
it.
though. He probably wouldn't. This ransack. If there were a poster
Silence.
for
No
overweight,
am I right?
egotistical, nonsense spewing, fake as fuck, white privilege, talk out of their ass person, it'd be you.
They
Oh.
can't talk on the mic because their mom might hear them.
Number fucking one. I'll probably agree to most of that shit. Well, actually, two things. One, I'm not white. This whole white privilege thing, whatever the fuck. Also, my white privilege, I have a YouTube video about my white privilege, so I would like you to go check out the Mace Valor channel on YouTube. And
Hey
you can-
yo.
It's actually my. Wait, who do we got here? What's up?
Advertise.
Oh, we got Top Troll up in this bitch. Welcome. Okay,
Oh,
so
shoot.
is that Ransack? I hope that's Ransack.
He's muted.
Oh, of course he's muted because he ain't got he ain't got the fucking balls to be a real man and fucking say some shit.
What a coward.
White's a colored dumbass. Oh Jesus Christ! All right, yeah, this dude's really talking out of his ass.
You know, I'm friends with an Egyptian, and he's dark as night, but, you know, he's white on paper. Funny how that shit works. I guess I don't have a checkbox for brown.
Oh, Avery, dude, Avery's savage as fuck, dude. Do you see what Avery wrote?
Nah, I missed it.
If there were a poster about a random person on the internet talking shit because they can hide behind a screen, it would be a picture of Ransack.
Dang.
Thank
Alrighty,
you,
scroll.
Avery. Thank you for fighting my battles. Nah, then he's black. What?
Well.
Xbox ho?
Why are you
Jesus.
in the voice chat if you're not going to talk, Top Troll?
I don't want to. I don't know if because the usernames are always fucking different. So I would assume it's Ransack. I know artificial intelligence. He was the person that asked for it. So I don't know. I don't know who it could be, and they left. Well, no balls at the end of the day.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and they're
He
back.
didn't want it.
So. What? Maybe they're just trying to fix their shit. You click on the microphone icon, and you make sure that it's all good.
Man, he's gonna unmute his mic and just hit us with a...
Oh yeah, because just like everyone else on the internet, he's so fucking original. That's the thing. If you're gonna be a troll and up in here, it's really stupid. It really is.
You gotta be original.
Give me something original. If you're gonna come and troll, make it worth my fucking while. I don't mind a good troll every now and then, but if you're gonna do the same shit that all the other fucking 12-year-olds do, get the fuck out of here and go back to recess. Fuck out of here.
I mean, trolling's an art form, man. You have to actually be
Yes.
clever.
Yes, it is. But then 4chan went and fucked that up, and everyone just copy pastes and does the same bullshit. So, fucking throwback
Alrighty.
to 2006, dude. Fucking Rafflecopter all day, man. Or what was that shit that went on YouTube for the longest time when they rolled out Google Plus? Fucking Bill in his tank or whatever, and that was in the comment threads fucking everywhere.
Our keyboard warrior over here says we're pretty much done when he gets his laptop.
AI. Oh, there we go. AI, welcome to the show, bud. That hair's a throwback to 2006. My nuts on your ransack. My nuts on your face. Oh, Avery, you're so funny, dude.
Alrighty, guys. Well, I think I'm gonna get to sleep now. I appreciate the stream, and probably catch you guys in the future.
Hey, no problem, man. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the discussion. We appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime.
Peace.
Night, friend.
I gotta get in motion. Yeah, go ahead and play a song before you get in. I'll listen to it, and based upon what the song is, we might mute you, but we'll see. Oh wait, I have to. All right, hold on. Oh, Electric Avenue, really?
Now in the street there is violence, and a lot of work to be done.
What would you like to happen?
No place to hang out or wash in.
First we meditate to this. I'm not listening to the whole fucking thing, dude. Sorry, broski. You can listen to it on your own time.
It's viewer request.
Yeah, that's about as far as you're gonna get.
So, how much more crazy we want to get tonight? Talk about some fake shit.
I don't know, dude. Whatever you want. What do you want to argue about? I'm smarter than you. Well, join the Discord. Fuck out of here with your trash memes. Hey, Avery, what's that link? Oh, yeah. Haha, very funny. So, people, like, God, you guys are, you motherfuckers, dude.
Low-key meme sounds like the kind of pseudo-intellectual that'd be perfect for this Discord.
Are you being rated by children because you have 15 viewers?
No, I would have gotten a, there would have been an alert that played if I was being rated. So, no, I'm just, it's just late at night on a Sunday and no one wants to go to school tomorrow, so they're just up in this bitch doing their thing. Yeah, usually like around 10 o'clock, that's when all the meetings come in. What's up?
So this is an attraction, the show. This is where it's at. Let's do this.
Yeah,
Fucking peanut gallery rolling in. Let's give them something to laugh at.
Well, I'm not whipping my dick out, so.
Are you implying that would be a laugher?
Next topic.
Is Michelle Obama a man?
Oh, God. Themore, this one's for you, bud.
Her middle name is Lavon, and Obama accidentally called her Michael in 2 different speeches. Or, like, yeah.
Wait, real quick. Low-key mom, or low-key mem, sorry, your name was all in yellow. I had to highlight it. Dude, low-key, get up in this bitch. Trust me, it's not going to be a 3v1, okay? Come on. We're all pretty much well-rounded. A lot of us believe in very different things. It's all over the place. We got people from all walks of life with all different viewpoints. Trust me, if you join us, you'll definitely be a part of the team, a part of the crew.
Hop in and put us in our place with your intellectual prowess, like
Yeah,
you said you were gonna do.
Let us know what's inside that brain noggin of yours thing.
Good job, Mace. You're putting us in a real good spot.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna shellac this boy.
Yeah, in other words, get your fucking ass in here. There's the link. Enjoy. I'm on a tablet plus join the talk show.
Joan Rivers had something to say about Michelle Obama.
Wait, what'd Joan Rivers say? Did they silence her because of
True
it?
that. Yeah, she died.
Like soon after?
Like the next day. Just kidding. It was, how long later? Like 6 months? Or a year?
I'm not sure about how much longer, but play the clip. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Put the clip.
Paparazzi. I think TMZ or somebody was asking her, hey.
No, if someone could pull the clip, I'll play
Oh,
it.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just a lazy fuck. I don't do that stuff. That's why I have you people. You guys are supposed to make my job easy. I leave the room for 20 minutes. Y'all carry on the show. I come back. I leave again. We just do this round and round thing that we do. If anything, I'm using you guys more than I really should. You guys are the unsung heroes of this show, honestly. What do you accomplish creating a community on Twitch? Well, actually, my community's further reaching than Twitch. It's not limited to just Twitch. I'm not just a live streamer. I'm a content creator. I do a lot of stuff on YouTube. I communicate with a lot of people about the gig economy, about how they can be successful and own their success, and kind of branch out from. They get a percent of the bits. Whoa, hold on now. Whoa. We got to see their faces on stream. Maybe they can get the percent of the bits. Better write that in LLC members. Include your mods. Might do that if they start showing their faces. That would make this stream so much better. Would any of you people be down for that in the future? Except for Themor. He will never show his face. I would rather keep it a mystery.
I am not going to show the entire internet my fat, pasty neckbeard face.
What about in like 6 months when you're done with AIT or whatever?
Then it'll just be a pasty neckbeard face.
There you go. The John Rivers clip is now in your Discord under the hashtag stream.
Oh man, I've been outed.
See, look, the Earth is fucking. There's an astronaut out in space right there, man. And we got rainbows and shit. And all right, let me play this shit. See what this is all about. Foibles looks cute.
I want to know where you got that
Mr.
information.
Rivers, how are you? You made a ton of news officiating the wedding in New York yesterday. Is this like a new cottage career move for you?
I am so excited.
Yeah.
And I should do very well because I don't charge.
And do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman
The
president?
man boobs or the triple chin you're really into?
Let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. It's okay. She does this.
I play a mean power bottom. Give me something to hold on to.
Wow, interesting. And she died shortly after that. Unfortunately, we lost good old Princess Winklebottom, so it's a pleasure having her on, so we couldn't say goodbye to her.
Yeah, she brought up the hot topic, too.
Yeah, well, for certain reasons at certain times, she has to bounce without a moment's notice, so it's understandable.
Yeah, it's life.
We're all like that. So, speaking of which, I'm going to be wrapping things up. So, as always, I like to give the last word to the audience. Well, I ultimately say the last word. I am the one that says goodbye. But I like to leave it to you guys, give your goodbyes, talk about a wonderful night that it's been. If anyone else wants to come up in here, ransack, you fucking coward. If you want to come up here and say some shit, we would really appreciate it. But if not, I perfectly understand what, being a fucking beta fucking pussy-ass bitch is like. I have no idea the stress that you have to deal with on a daily basis.
Do it, say cuck.
Being a cuck like your fucking self. You piece of fucking shit. Hopefully that will entice you to join the Discord and say something before we go, but otherwise you'll just be a beta cuck for the rest of your life. Is that enough cuck? Because I like cunt better, because he's more of a cunt than a cuck, but is what it is. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, good times. Don't be afraid to come in and shoot the shit. Mace won't bite your head off.
Is the stream off?
No, not yet. It will be. No,
I'm gonna taste some when the stream comes off.
Oh, okay. No, if you come up, if you talk shit on the chat and you just stay in the chat talking shit, fuck off. But if you want to actually put your fucking voice out there, if you really want to be a fucking man or a fucking adult or just fucking any semblance of a goddamn human being, come up on the stream, shoot the shit with us, good, bad, or indifferent, fucking let us know. But if you're just gonna fucking sitting behind your keyboard all day, stroking your dick off to me just fucking shaking my head at your ass, fuck off.
And if your goal is to come into the chat or in the Discord in an attempt to embarrass us,
not gonna
well, I mean, we got it covered, man. All right, we don't need any help.
Yes, truly, this is a rather low-key production in my fucking closet. Okay, trust me, I can't get anything lower than this. And I've lived out of my car before, so there's not really much you can do to make me feel worse than I have previously on in my life. They haven't hit puberty yet, Mace. They can't jerk off. They probably don't even know how to jerk off. They probably do it like they're fucking like this, like they're fucking like trying to light a fire or some shit. Idiots. As always, gentlemen, it was fantastic having you guys here. As always.
And as always, enjoy.
All right, so this is the end of the stream. Fuck y'all. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for being a part. Thank you for joining on in the chat and being a part of the discussion. It means a lot. And yeah, we do like to argue about anything and everything. So go ahead and hit us with your best that the internet has to offer. You guys, the viewers, you guys are what truly makes the show awesome. And we would be nowhere without you guys. You guys have a great night. And this is Mace Valor signing.